is episode number 7 or episode 9, depending
This
on.
is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
I was waiting for you to finish the rest of the chorus.
I was hoping you wouldn't.
I didn't know where he was going with that. But yeah, we're
Yeah.
back. We're back with some more shenanigans at Jersey's Medium. So,
As usual, a little short staffed because we have unreliable friends who
we're not
want to.
saying any names. No names.
It's
Yoel.
all of them. Well,
No names.
Edric,
Wow.
Edric, Aldwin.
Aldwin.
Edric left us for Aruba. He's at Aruba right now.
How dare he? Fucking Aruba. Jeez.
Although a half hour ago, what did he say? He was over
North
North
Carolina.
Carolina.
North Carolina.
That was more than a half hour ago, but yeah,
Was it?
I think so. Irrelevant.
0 fucks given. Nobody cares.
Yeah. This was his idea, which is why it's extra annoying. He's
I
the
mean,
project
he must-
manager of this podcast.
He's the project manager.
And then
So,
he
project
can message
manager,
us,
not
are we
producer.
live? This is
Are
the-
we
now
live?
he's the-
What kind of
he
producer are
messages.
you?
He's the producer. He's like, hey, you guys on? You guys, we gotta make sure you're on at 9 o'clock, right? You guys are missing this broadcast, right? You know, we got business stuff.
9:02. You're 2 minutes late. Where are you guys?
Oh,
Not on an
God.
airplane. That's where we are. Do we answer him or just leave it alone?
He has to figure it out. He got to figure it out for himself. He wants to be the
Actually, this isn't the
producer.
first time. There's been several times where we went live. He'd go to the YouTube page and be like, "You guys aren't live." I'm like, "Yes, we are." No,
I
you're
had
not
to
live."
refresh. I had to refresh to pop
Yeah,
the
the-
live button.
The YouTube algorithm at times is not very accurate.
And I did not get a notification either.
I mean,
You know what,
It's
YouTube? You're
live.
costing a subscriber.
YouTube, what are you guys doing, man? I always forget to turn on the chat. There we go.
Turn on the chat. Is it?
Yeah, you gotta hit the
Not on?
chat button so you can see the chat. Oh, there he is. He's in chat. What's up, Ed?
Oh,
We are live.
bitch, I'm on a plane. Why is it so weird? Why is it saying- Oh my god.
We are
Wait, is he
live.
on a plane?
Wait,
Watching?
Yeah.
Are there
That's
any
Where the-
snakes
where
on
the
there
fuck
with
have
you?
you
I'm
been?
just curious.
Where the
I'm
fuck
asking
you
for a
been?
friend.
I was sending out. I'm trying to get us viewers, so I'm sending out the link to people so people would actually watch us.
I don't do
Turn
that.
it on.
I'm too embarrassed.
I'm already turned on.
I'm gonna wait till we have a more full crew to send out the link. I feel like sometimes if it's not a lot of people,
There's
Well,
too many
you
people.
know, we don't have,
freaking
and we
out
don't
on
have
us.
also a good topic list this week. So
Miguel told me that I have my very first fan. I have a fangirl in Japan.
oh yeah, Forgot
I
about
thought he
that.
was about to pull up a picture of like a fan, like setting 3 or something. I don't know.
Mm.
Pointed up at the ceiling fan. Mm-hmm. All right. Where do you
Anyway.
guys want to start?
Oh man, I feel like it's a little hacky to do the daylight savings time, but we were arguing about starting early because I don't know. Please tell me your philosophy on it's already an hour ahead because it's going to be an hour ahead later.
It's 10:04.
I really hate you. I hate you so much.
I mean, but I understand.
It's a mental thing though. You're trying to.
I'm
trick
not there
yourself.
yet. I'm not there yet.
You're gonna get
No
there at
way.
2 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping.
When I'm sleeping, yeah, when I'm sleeping, because then it's just like it never happened. You know?
It's not going to. It affects all of us for days. Like our sleeping schedules are thrown off. Everything's thrown off.
Well, at least it's on. I can get the hour. I don't
Why are
know
we
if I-
still doing daylight savings time? Why is that?
Stand by, guys.
Finally got
Chat
the
G,
burp out.
he's in a chat GPT. Why are we still doing it? I know why it
I know
went into
why.
effect.
Why? But like
Wait.
other countries don't do it. It's the U.S.
I completely thought he was going to look it up, and he left.
I don't know.
Like, he's like, "Hold on, guys. I thought he was googling it."
So I have like my my Japanese lessons every week. So right now, Japan is 14 hours ahead of us, and then tomorrow they will be 13 hours. So I have to completely reset what time my lessons are because they still do it the same time on theirs, but it changes it by an hour on my side. So now like my lessons are an hour earlier or an hour later, an hour earlier, I think. So, and every country's like, what do you mean now the time's changed? Why are you changing times?
Because we're retarded. We're American.
It's so fucking stupid.
Karen
so
thinks
fucking
I'm live
stupid.
with you guys on the plane. You're not live with us.
Does she?
Oh
What?
God, is he gonna join?
Are they not sitting together?
Are you? Yeah. Ed, are
As
you
a
not sitting together? What is
for the
happening?
audience,
Did you?
Edric
Did you?
is side messaging us and saying that his girlfriend thinks that he's live with us, which begs the question: wouldn't she know if she's sitting next to him?
Maybe she's folded in the checked-in baggage. I don't know.
Maybe she got first. Oh no, Ed's in first class. He put her in coach.
That's fucking terrible. Good Lord.
I could absolutely see him doing that.
Are you guys on Spirit Airlines where you didn't pick your seats? Is that what happened here? What's going on? Talk to us.
I think you still pick your seats on Spirit Airlines. When we went to New Orleans, we picked our seats, didn't we? We had
Did
this.
it? I thought you had to pay extra for that. Holy shit, Alfredo is alive. Where's Alfredo?
Why are we talking about Fredo? Oh, he messaged about
Dude,
Fredo's.
he doesn't say anything for like 2 weeks. And he's talking about the new Wu-Tang album.
Oh, Fredo. What year is this? We're not in high school anymore. I don't care about a new Wu-Tang album.
So before the stream started, we were talking about Grand Theft Auto 6, and we had to stop that because we were kind of getting in the weeds a bit. And we were talking about the rumor of them potentially raising the price to $100.
Would you guys would you guys pay $100 for GTA 6? Or would you wait for a sale? Or a discount, whatever. You're muted, Dave.
I'd probably wait for a discount, but I wouldn't
My
say
bad.
no. I mean, that's a longevity game, so I'm not against doing it. If
But are
it
you
was
in a rush to
Call-
play it?
No. If it was Call of Duty, is a fuck no. Hell no. Never.
So here are my questions because I came into it late.
We just started the convo. We just started the convo about this, so
Just hypothetical.
yeah.
GTA 6 comes
I
out.
get it.
Yeah.
But GTA 6, so that means it's current gen. So that means it's, and we're talking about the base game.
Yeah, just base game.
Base game, no other thing, no other edition. No, I would not pay $100 just for a base game, because no other game, like, just for the title, they have the audacity, which has never been done before, as far as my recollection.
For a
I mean,
base game, no.
somebody
For
always has
deluxe
to do it.
games,
Somebody
yes.
has to start it, you know?
I feel like they would start at 80 first, because right now they're at 70.
I wouldn't do it. I'm little, like, I'm definitely the opposite of Miguel. I'm a little bit more developer, like pro developer, or like, I mean, although I do agree they do a lot of fucked up shit.
I'm
or whatever,
anti-developer.
Yes, you are. You freaking hate developers.
No, I hate. No, the people working, the people
depends on the
developing the game, I have no problem with. I hate the publishers and like
Okay.
Activision is not a developer. Activision is just a publisher. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Yeah.
Adric
But
in
no,
chat
yeah, that
says he
would piss me off.
But he would wait a month.
Why would you wait a month if you're still going to pay the same price?
He probably wants to see how buggy the game is, and you know how that goes.
Let's ignore Hendrick. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. I'm saying for me, right? I don't really care about GTA Online. I only played a single player. I played online like a few times, so I'm not going to pay $100. I'll wait for a discount, wait for drop in price. It's just not worth it to me to pay $100.
I'm going
to play one time. I only play one time.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Let's say GTA 6 drops and they throw a curveball and release a mode that changes everything. That all of a sudden it becomes the most popular game. Maybe they introduce a BR mode. Who knows? Whatever. And all of a sudden, now it explodes in popularity and it surpasses like Marvel Rivals and everything in the fun factor. And it's $100. Would you consider it?
I gotta see the monetization because
you, Miguel.
I just $100 for a game that I don't game as much as I used to. I don't spend as much time gaming.
That's true.
So it's a lot of money for probably what will not take up a lot of my free time. Because even if it's like a really popular multiplayer game, am I gonna be playing that much? Probably not. I just can't imagine what would justify that price for me.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I wouldn't-
most
I wouldn't
likely
do
I'm
it.
only going to play it one time.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto does have one of the longest life cycles. I mean, we're going on 10 years now, and it's the
But
most
I don't
the most
care.
popular
I don't play
shooting
it.
game. Oh,
I don't
get that.
care. I don't play
But no,
it.
but
So
the point-
why
I
is that
think
worth?
that-
It's about being
I-
worth it to me.
I
You know?
think the point that Lewis is trying to make though is
Like COD
saying that
comes
we're
out with a
gonna
new one
wait for
every
a
year, and
price
it's
drop?
$70. That's $700 over 10 years.
And I don't pay it either.
The idea of waiting for a price drop, to Lewis's point, GTA has a huge shelf life, so there's
Yeah.
not going to be many, if any, price drops.
But there is price drops, right? You don't.
There
There's
is
not
eventually. It takes at least a year or two. But
because
there is.
remember they make their most of the money for GTA came from buying shark cards and like the online stuff, and I don't care about that. So I'm not paying extra because you got online. Because I
But
can't
I-
imagine they're going to make a great competitive VR game.
But
I just
I'm
can't-
talking
I don't
about
see it.
my time at GameStop, right? Like for big, huge, popular games like that, you normally did not see a price drop. To your point, on occasion you'll see it, but it wouldn't be. So it's like, so we're talking about like, I'm not going to spend $100, but when we do see a price drop, it's probably going to be like $5 or like $10 off. Like
I won't
that type
pay-
of price drop you're going to make. That's going to make or break you for
It'll be
buying the
$10
game.
off for Black Friday.
No, I'm not gonna. I would have to be. It would have to be at least half price. Like $50 is the most I'll pay for it.
Yeah, so
Nah.
you're not going to see
Grand Theft
50%.
Auto,
for
I want to say
years.
that you're talking 4 or 5 years in, it'll be half price.
That's fine. I don't care that much. I'll fucking pirate it. I don't give a shit.
But no,
I'm playing single player.
I'm actually with Miguel, right? Like if they come out and they announce $100 price point, I'm immediately not interested and probably never going to be interested again, even at
Yeah.
$50 off. Doesn't matter at that point. The fame of it has already diminished or whatever. I'm no longer interested in playing.
I'm not saying no. If they drop it for $100, I gotta see what is it that's included for $100. Why is it $100?
But we already established that it's just a base game. No bonuses, no nothing. Like,
It's wise because it's what the market will bear. It's because they want to. Like, there's no reason. Just because they think that people will pay it because it's GTA.
Yeah, to me, it's just not apples to apples. It's Call of Duty $70 a year. They release dog shit every year. People still pay for it. I know
Well,
they.
people-
previously
most people-
talked
listen,
about
will
That
people
shit
pay
goes on
for it?
discount real quick.
Absolutely. People will absolutely pay the $100.
Yeah, of course. People
Miguel and myself
people
would not.
will pay, but I won't. I
Yeah,
will not.
neither would I.
Hell fucking no. What's he talking about? Mute that dog. Edric, go to sleep.
He might-
Um,
you guys can't hear it? I can hear my dog. I didn't know you guys could hear it.
I
Oh.
heard him. He was barking a little.
I thought you were
while
talking about me. I was like, mute what fucking dog?
No,
I was like, what are you talking about?
he was barking a little while ago, but I think
Oh,
he
I-
stopped.
I didn't even hear that. Edric complaining about background noise. This
Reach
motherfucker,
around.
the nerve of him. The nerve of him.
the nerve.
The nerve and the Mile High Club. You see a lot of background sounds right now.
Oh my god. So our buddy, he wanted to. He had floated the idea of trying to live stream from the plane if he could. And I immediately vetoed it because I said, "Stop being so Dominican. Nobody wants to hear you talking on a podcast." Fucking Radio Raheem over here trying to blast his. What are you talking about?
Did you hear about that woman that stripped her clothes off naked on that plane?
No, but I want to see the video.
Why can't you like that?
Depends
That's
on-
never happened on Flex that I'm on.
If it happens, you
what
know
is
what?
it?
You're not going to want to see the woman.
I think it was to Arizona. Women strips naked on plane. Yeah, here it is. It's all over the news. Yesterday on a Southwest flight. Oh, it was in Houston. So they were in Houston, ready to take off. Let's see if there's a video. Question is it uncensored? Can we see an uncensored version? Because all the news agencies, we need a raw video. Can we show that on YouTube? Is that possible?
No.
Or does it have to be
I
censored?
would not advise that we do that.
Yeah.
Jersey Schmedium. Minus the Schmedium. Naked woman on plane. Let's see if we can find the video for our millions of viewers. Woman strips down
This is
naked.
a how-to Google search tutorial
Runs
right now.
down aisle before takeoff. Was she protesting?
Maybe it was a bachelorette party.
Holy loud.
Every video I'm finding is censored.
Okay, this video is having too many issues. Here we go. All right,
Anyway.
I'm gonna share this video. Let's see. Share. Hopefully there's audio. I know I've had audio issues before. All right, do you hear audio?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, she's feeling it. I'm okay. I gotta pee, but I'm okay. I won't pee right here.
I'll pee in this motherfucking plane.
You know, I think what a lot of this happens is a lot of people are scared to fly.
Everybody's cell
and they'll-
phones are out.
I know.
What is she
What the hell?
Girl, stop.
So a lot of people take a lot of drugs before a flight because, you know,
Maybe
flying
she's
can be
on
scary for
gummies.
some people. Could have been that.
I know.
Could have been on anything.
I'm trying to like make it to where her boobs are like covered so I don't get in trouble.
Wow, what a buzzkill.
Oh,
Why would you try to do that?
She's probably live
Yeah,
streaming on
yeah,
Facebook.
for sure.
That's probably why. Yeah, you
Oh,
can't do
she's
that with live
probably
stream.
on mushrooms or acid or something.
Mushrooms are acid.
Why would you assume that? Why would you assume
Yeah.
that?
Yo, I'm on some LSD. Let's go. She's like chatting with the first class. Is that first? No, it's not first class.
It might be first class nowadays. They have to pull over. It's not a car.
Well, they were on the runway. I don't think they
Yeah.
took off.
I don't think they call it pulling over when you have to like get off the plane.
So yeah, that woman, she had a really cool excursion on that flight. Unfortunately, escorted by police and local law enforcement. I'm sure that was a very long conversation to have in the ambulance.
Probably on a
outside.
no-fly list now.
Probably.
Oh, 100%.
They said no charges were filed. So
Well, she didn't attack anybody. She just got naked. You know, no harm,
Yeah.
no foul. You're good.
you know, some people were crying. Say, "Oh, there's kids in this flight," and they've seen worse on the internet. Come on.
Yeah.
So
All right.
anyway.
Well, that's not the worst thing that's happened on flights this year, so I'll let it go.
it is not. So last week we went to Bruisology. We did announce. We did say
Yeah.
that. Went to
Mhm.
Liberty Science Center. We were trying out some fresh brews. We were learning some science shit. I don't know
Yeah,
if we
were we?
actually learned anything. Did we learn
No.
anything?
A lot of the interactive stuff was broken, which I was very disappointed about.
It was. Yeah. That's not Bruisology's fault. That's Liberty Science Center's fault.
Oh, I agree. But it was very disappointing, which I guess shit breaks when it's, you know, it's mostly a museum for kids and like field trips for kids. So
Yeah, and it's used
shit get-
hundreds
day.
of thousands of times.
all right, we'll fix that shit. What happens when I'm a kid and I'm going there for a field trip and that shit doesn't work? It's depressing. What did you guys think overall of the layout, the whole experience?
It was interesting. So the girl that I saw there, I graduated with her.
Mhm.
I don't want to dox on stream, but so she said she had been there for the past 3 years, I believe is what she said. And she said every year it's been getting smaller and smaller. There's less and less. They said it's been shrinking. This is like
The Bruisology?
yeah, she said it's been getting smaller. She goes every year they've gone there, it's been less people that were
This is the first year I heard about it.
same. But she says she's there for the last 3 years. She's like, yeah, this is the third year that I'm doing. She's like, this is the smallest I've ever seen. There's the least amount of vendors here this year for whatever reason. I thought
It was
that
pretty.
interesting.
I thought it was pretty big.
We basically saw the same thing happening with the beer fest we used to go to. That was
Yeah.
getting smaller year after year after year.
Yeah.
What really? I don't know if I didn't. First of all, the
You
setup
went when-
felt really cheap.
There was more games, I think, right? They were adding more games.
Yes.
There was more and more floor space for gaming than there was for the brews. So
which kind of mean you can only drink so much. But what I didn't like is the cheap looking setup of a lot of the brewer, like the place. They just had a table and they had their cans on the table. No signs that you could read to see like, hey, here's what we have on offer. Here's the percentage. Here's the description. No, I got to go up to the table, grab a can, and try to figure out what the fuck you have for me to drink. What kind of setup is this? You can't even print out a piece of paper to hang?
That's a lot
Terrible.
of work, man.
I was like, this is trash. And then they were like, how stingy were they with those pours? You give me like literally, it was like a half.
Some of them were,
like, was it a shot?
But some of them were
not.
like, "Tell me when to stop." I'm like,
yes,
okay, that's fine.
But too many. I think it was because they were not on tap. I think it was because cans. Like too many were literally so stingy. Where I'm like, they always say if you're gonna take a drink of something, to actually examine the flavor, you need 3 sips. You're gonna cleanse your palate.
Chloe.
Then like neutral. And the third sip is when you decide whether you like it or not. There was no third sips for most of those beers. No third, like you were just little drink and you're done.
Yeah.
I don't understand. There was some good beers, good breweries, but I wasn't happy with some of that cheap looking shit.
So yeah, okay. Miguel brings up good points. A lot of tables just were like bare minimum, bare effort made. Some of them where you could tell the brewery actually sent their own representatives. Those were like they had the tents and everything else set up. Those were more appreciative. But the ones that you could kind of tell, like they outsourced, like, hey, you guys want a job real quick for one night?
That was so annoying.
Those people manning those
Yeah,
tables,
some of them were like on their
bare
cell
minimum.
phones. Yeah, they were like on their cell phones and shit. Like,
I'm just surprised. Usually, everywhere I went,
hey, come try out our shit.
Dude, every beer fest I've went to, when a company has their beer there, they got their people, they're pouring their stuff, they're talking about their beer, they're saying these people. It's like, hey, I'm a brewery. It's like I sent a couple of cases of beer and contracted out like a bartender. That's weird.
It's like
I've never seen that.
Somebody off of Uber Eats and said, "Here, pick up, this from here."
On Fiverr
for the whole year. On Fiverr.
They were on Fiverr. Just pour some beers for me, please.
Just 8-hour gig. You get paid, $200. It's fine. All expenses
the
paid.
overall idea of it, I thought was really cool. Like when we went out there and we saw each floor had the vendors.
Yes, that was great.
It's just
going through and seeing. I thought it was really cool going through and seeing where the animals are, and they still had vendors in there. So you're checking out the animals, but then you're still going and grabbing a beer. Like I liked how outside like the kid areas, which made sense. They really didn't make any part of the LSC unavailable to like the vendors. Like you could still go there for the reason that you're going there, and not feel like you're missing out by going and checking out the exhibits. Like I thought that part was kind of cool. The overall idea of it was cool. Obviously, the location of Liberty Science Center, going outside and getting a picture of the skyline, that's also very cool for people that are not local to the area.
That was, I like that.
It was a little nippy that night, but yeah, it was good.
It's the time of year, but right, it's like, even though windy. I grew up in that area, right, I would say now that I'm so far removed from it for so long, going out there, I was like, that is a pretty fucking skyline, right? Like, so like the location was cool. And now I have FIFO of Lewis's friends saying like, oh, this was better years ago, because I thought overall outside of Miguel's, when I say FIFO, that's a work thing. That's a work thing. I'm sorry.
I know accounting. First in, first out.
I know, but that's why it came out, because I used it so much at work.
FIFO.
I'm a little like. Now, like, I'm disappointed. I was like, man, I thought this whole year was pretty cool. I had a good time. I was excited about it. Now I was like, oh shit, I missed out when it was even better.
Yeah. I told her too. I said, this is the first time it's here. I'm like, we had fun. We're trying out different shit, and it's different, right? We've always gone to beer fest and never in that setup before, right?
Yeah.
It's always in a huge ass conference hall that's just one giant ass room.
I still enjoy it. I didn't care.
Kind of like going to the center.
Do you remember how like much your back used to hurt walking on that concrete floor before they put some padding
Yeah.
down? That was painful.
Yeah. I know.
But when she said it was
I
bigger,
slammed into it once.
but when she said it was bigger, did she mean there was more people or there was more like?
She said
Because
there was more vendors. There's more vendors.
But I mean,
getting
I
there.
felt like there was enough vendors. I wasn't like disappointed in the amount of vendors. That was
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, there's
It
a lot.
was-
There were areas where there were like no vendors at all, so some of them had a lot of long lines. So I can see if it was more dispersed, so there's less lines. Especially that one by what's that thing you guys went through? You were
The
crawling around the
Titanic?
dark.
Oh,
No, the dark tunnel one.
the blackout tunnel or dark. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
there
it was
there
pitch
was a
black
vendor
tunnel.
right
something like
there.
that.
The
That
touchy feely
line-
tunnel.
That line
Yeah.
was long as fuck. It was like almost the length of that lobby section. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell are they giving away here? That was
I know
crazy.
that. Yeah, I even asked the guy at the end of the line. Are you guys was waiting for beer? He was like, yeah. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Why are you on this long ass line? Like,
There's 100 other beer spots all around
yeah,
you.
I
the
was
amount
so
of time
shocked. I
you
was like,
spend there. It was like you could go see 6 different vendors for the amount of time you're on this one. Like, why are you
that
guys
was
all here?
so weird.
Yeah,
So weird. Like one random brewery, which I'm like, this is not even a known like really good brewery. It just happens to be like by the Titanic exhibit. I'm like, why
Yeah.
are you guys waiting in line? It looks like an hour-long line. What are you guys
yeah. We
stupid?
had just did we just get out of the Titanic or we didn't go in yet at that point? No,
No, I
it
think-
was-
No,
I
before we
think-
went
I-
in. Before we went in.
Yeah, it was
That was
before we
almost-
went in because we left the tunnel, and you're right. That's when we saw the line, and then we went up to
Yeah.
go do the Titanic thing,
Yeah.
which you fuckers rushed me out of, motherfuckers.
What you act like
You
you
were
were
in there
actually
for
I
the
in the ship.
wanted to
shower.
see the exhibit.
I thought you were there waiting for the ship to sink. I'm like, he's in there for 3
Seriously?
hours.
I'm like, did he meet Rose? Is he on a fucking a goddamn
saw-
door right now, drowning?
Skyjack.
I did meet Rose, okay, and she had the heart of the ocean. We were checking out. We were talking about it. I told her if it was sinking, there's definitely enough room on that freaking door. Better not let me ass it sink.
We're talking about Demi Rose, right? What is-
Why are you talking about his woman? Look how pissed off you got him.
Yeah,
He hasn't
I was
talked
like,
about her
oh.
in so
I haven't
long.
heard.
I'm like, did he forget about it?
I did forget about it because I'm like,
I
my
haven't seen
Discord
any
feed- my
pictures
Discord
or
feed said-
anything posted about her in a long, such a long time.
yeah, it's been the Discord servers have dried up a little bit. So,
Oh,
and also,
what it
you
is.
know, how many times do you see the same shit over and over again? You know, like let's move on to the next level. It's hardcore time. You know,
OnlyFans, but her
She's on
OnlyFans
OnlyFans,
is,
right?
but her
It's just
OnlyFans
ins-
isn't fully nude.
no, it's not. No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's airbrush too.
It's filtered. It's got so many
How
filters.
dare you. It's
It's
unfiltered.
fucking airbrush.
You're talking about his woman. She's not perfect. He's airbrushed.
He said, "How dare you?"
You're talking about his e-wife, and he hasn't talked about her in like
Yeah.
2 years.
Yep. Oh man.
Oh
I don't know
man,
if we should. Well, let's not go into that one then. All right. So, no,
What's-
Lewis,
what's
you're
the
the
van-
you're the host today.
well, I was gonna ask, what's the vandalism thing about? Who are you
Okay,
vandalizing?
so as you know, the United States is in the middle of a massive collapse. You know, the end of society as we know it in this country.
This is the status quo at this point. I mean,
This is not status quo, and you damn well know that. So there's been a rise, you know, an uptick. That's what the word I was looking for. An uptick in vandalism incidents regarding Tesla stuff, and even around the world, where Trump's one of his golf courses, I think, was vandalized over in I forgot where. I think in Ireland, maybe, or Scotland. I don't know. Either way, what do you feel about? So, like, this is where I'm a little. I'm a
think
little
you're
like, even
actually
though I
gonna
hate.
agree with me. I mean, a billionaire's golf course was vandalized. Do we care?
Oh, I don't give a shit about that.
It's
I was thinking more
insured.
about Tesla, right? Because now some people that own Teslas are getting their cars vandalized.
Yeah.
And I'm of two minds about it. Like, if you bought your Tesla, like, listen, I've been on the Elon sucks train for a lot longer than most people, you know, because I felt
4 years and 8 months. 12
4
months.
years. It's been more than 4 years. I mean, it's like 8 years at least. 10 years I've been hating
I
that.
thought he was
motherfucker.
about to say like the minutes and seconds, like, you know.
No, I don't know the exact time. You know, it was around the pedo diver scandal thing, but whatever. A lot of people still liked him, still liked his car. He was a little bit kooky, but you know what billionaire is not a piece of shit? But you know, he's gone to the next level, and so a lot of people are vandalizing his car. So now,
I didn't know kooky and piece of shits were synonymous.
Well, there's a difference. Well, he's gone from kooky to full blown. Like, wow, you are a piece of shit. Now he always was, but now it's more visible. So people are vandalizing Teslas, and there's even people buying bumper stickers saying like, "Oh, I bought this before we knew Elon was crazy." Now, I personally get a lot of Schadenfreude. I enjoy seeing a Tesla get smashed, blown up, Molotoved. I do feel bad for people who don't pay attention to the news.
It's probably
Why
the next
don't
featured
But also-
car in Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, they're gonna give it a great name because they're gonna mock it so bad. Because as much as like this game is popular across all like political, like the message in almost all Grand Theft Auto games is incredibly left wing, and these people don't fucking realize it. It's incredibly left wing messaging in those games, and these people play it like, oh, I get to kill hookers, and like, you do not pay attention to the story. This is not a fucking right wing Republican story. Almost no games have right wing stories. But anyway, what do you think? Like, I enjoy any Cybertruck that gets destroyed. I don't give a shit. If you bought a Cybertruck, you already knew what Elon was. If your car gets destroyed, I'm gonna fucking laugh at you. If you got like a 2018 Model 3, Model Y, I'll even let you have 2020. That's as far as I'll go. If you bought it after that and your car gets destroyed, I'm gonna fucking laugh at you, and I don't care. I don't feel bad for you whatsoever. What do you guys feel about it? I'm sure you guys are sure. Lewis is probably anti all vandalism. He's very status quo.
I've been anti-Tesla. I'm not
But are you pro vandalism?
I'm not really pro vandalism, but
Are you pro Luigi?
I can't publicly say that. I can't confirm or deny. We don't
As
we don't
a
want to
disclosure.
we don't want to get canceled before a 10th episode or an anniversary date. We should at least have like 1 year in before we get canceled. You know what I mean?
Just as a status update, though, as I don't think I've ever said it on here, but I do have a Luigi bumper magnet, not sticker, because who puts a fucking sticker on their car? That's trash. And I have not been keyed yet.
Especially on
Which-
lease.
Yeah, well, that's such a lease, of course. So I have not been keyed yet, as some of our stupider former podcast members would say it was going to happen.
There's a lot of under bus throwing. I love it. Oh man.
So I have not been keyed.
I don't.
So
I don't
I'm waiting. Yeah.
But yeah, but
don't think I
your car would fly under the radar. That's like, it's not a well-known car.
But I have a giant. The thing is, I have a giant blue Luigi
I
bumper.
don't think it's gonna get keyed for that. I mean, maybe a billionaire.
That
would,
was-
that's about it.
that was the reason that was what our one friend was saying, that you're gonna get keyed for having that. I'm like, what? Who's gonna key me? Like,
Because
yeah, right.
Because he's
Stupid.
whatever. I'm gonna skip over that
Yeah.
subject.
Yeah.
Go back to the vandalizing Teslas. If I saw a Tesla, I kind of laugh, but at the same time, I feel really bad for the owner, right? Because like you're literally doing zero to Tesla. You're doing zero to money. They already got their money.
So
I'm not
this
a
is why I
fan of it
disagree.
for one reason, and the reason is if they're vandalizing their car, the owner is not the one paying for it. Elon Musk is not the one paying for it. Our insurance companies are paying for it to fix it, and that shows up in our increased annual premiums. So
Okay, that's fine. But it's sometimes sometimes the cost is worth it. I will say this. In the way that it does cost Elon is that if you have a Tesla and there's a 10% chance your car is going to get spray painted or keyed, you might be like, is it really worth it? Maybe I don't want to buy a Tesla. It can drive demand down. Now,
but competition's done that. I mean, their quarterly earnings just came out this past week, and
that's not competition. That's him. He
They-
drove that demand
well,
down.
no, 100%. He essentially drove it off of a cliff because it's not a priority for him anymore. Number one, number two, it's not a good time for him to be doing it because competition EV is fiercer than ever. Almost every manufacturer now has some form of EV in all their lineups.
All right, but I'm going to argue against this in that I wanted a Tesla for a long time. And if Elon was not involved with this company and it was run by some another faceless billionaire who wasn't actively trying to destroy the country, I would probably have bought a Tesla when I leased this last car. And I deliberately did not because of Elon.
So if
But the
Elon
thing
wasn't
is,
attached, you would get one today.
Not today because I have an active lease. If Elon wasn't attached, I still would not trust. He would have to divest fully all his
No,
stocks.
I mean, like, let's say pretend the slate's clean.
Let's say he dies. Let's
Let's say you have no car and he did not own Tesla. Would you get one?
Is he dead? Is he dead?
Elon is not part of Tesla.
I'm asking, is he dead in this scenario?
Next subject.
It's Lewis's scenario.
We're not going to win. I mean, we're not going to win because
so I will say that if he would have to, I would have to like think literally if they ousted him and ousted all his family on the board and there was like a hostile takeover by people who I more closely align with politically or just so like we're more.
You're saying past tense because he was part of it. If he wasn't part of it at all and it was just some other random person.
But if it's his family owns it and shit, like then no.
I mean, somebody not related to Elon Musk whatsoever. Not a single person on the board or the company. No C-levels, no nothing. Like clean slate.
So my only issue is I would say maybe only because I'm really annoyed. Like that he has so destroyed my trust in that company. Like he got rid of LiDAR and like first of all, my dream forever since I was like a kid, I was like, I just want to have a self-driving car. I want to have something take me. I want to be able to go drink at a bar, lay down in the backseat of my car, and end up at my front of my house.
You're not supposed to do that.
I'm saying if you have like if there comes a day when literally you can jump into the back of your car and it's legally allowed to drive you all the way home and it can do it successfully, no problem.
That's not exclusive to Tesla though. I mean, Cadillac has the autopilot shit and they have LiDAR. That's a safety issue more than a brand issue.
So here's the thing. Tesla is way more lax with their testing. Like they're basically running beta software on their cars that can kill any of us. Because even though we're not owning a Tesla, we're on the road with them. You've seen the videos, people falling asleep behind the wheel, you know? You've seen it.
People do that in ICE cars without autopilot. I mean,
you know what I mean? They think like it's okay because I have autopilot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my dream is always to have the best.
Wasn't LiDAR originally taken out because of the chip shortage back in like 2020?
It was taken out because of the cost, because he was trying to lower cost. And he said,
supply issue.
It doesn't matter if it's a supply issue. He took it out and he never put it back. And he said, we don't need LiDAR. Cameras are enough. And they're not.
They're not. No.
They're not enough. And he has now, because he made the decision, like Trump, he cannot back away from it. And so there's no LiDAR. And you just can't trust the word that they've said.
Cameras can't see too well in fog, right?
Or rain, or any kind of conditions. They can get blocked.
Fog is the biggest issue, right? Because the particles block. But LiDAR can see all that, assuming there isn't snow or something caked onto the LiDAR sensor.
Sure, but it's more likely to get, if it's caked onto LiDAR, it's already long caked onto the fucking cameras.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless we have a built-in heater element to it or something. I don't know.
Either way, we know that it's not enough, but oh god, it's not like it says they're not switching out shit. They're not doing that. They're not going back to LiDAR because they have said they're putting apparently they're. So this is what I was just reading is that they're putting LiDAR on their cyber taxis that are supposedly getting released. Which, by the way, England just said you're not allowed to have your cyber taxis in England. Not allowing it.
I thought EU is like banning Tesla altogether at this point.
We have to remember that England is not part of the EU anymore.
Well,
this is separate.
EU plus England.
Yeah. Well, I bet you England's probably like, ooh, really wish we didn't leave the fucking EU. What's just going on right now?
Yeah.
I have all right. So vandalism.
Ed's
Is
saying
it?
something about them switching them out.
He was just
Yeah,
I
I
don't
talking
know
about
if
it.
No,
I don't know if he's talking about LiDAR or cameras or what.
it
No,
doesn't matter.
Miguel just answered him. He said no, they're not doing that.
No, they're not switching out to LiDAR. The only thing they're switching out, they said they've offered to switch out the processor from HW3, the hardware version 3 to hardware version 4, which should allow for better self-driving. But without LiDAR, it'll never be completely road safe. You'll never be able to just go to sleep in the car because they'll be like, until a car company is willing to say, we take full liability if our shit fails, it's not real self-driving. If you have self-driving, then it's like, but you have to be ready to take over at a moment's notice. It's not fucking self-driving. If I have to be awake and paying attention, it's pointless.
So the cameras, right? I think the first incident that hit major news was, I think it was a car that pretty much drove full highway speed, and I think it was an 18-wheeler that was making a
Yeah.
U-turn or something like that. And the issue, I believe, was when the NTSB, not the NTSB, what's the highway one? NTSB is the airline.
It is the NTS. No.
Is it? NTSB is airlines.
National.
Which one's the highway one? The national highway one is
NHTA?
NHTB or whatever. So
National Highway Transportation.
they had determined when they pulled the black box of the car, they did the replay back of the videos, that because of the angle, like where the sun was in the sky at that time of day, I think it was like around noon or 1 o'clock or whatever. Because of the angle the cameras were facing, and I think it was blue skies or some shit, or it was cloudy or something, it couldn't distinguish the difference between the side of this big ass white truck that was the trailer going in front of it and the sky. So it kind of absorbed all of it in one shot, thinking the whole thing was the sky, and it didn't think there was anything in front of them. Obviously,
I wonder what
LiDAR
address that. Yeah.
LiDAR would have been able to see that. Cameras, and the other problem is cameras there's always going to be a delay because of image processing.
Exactly.
So yes, there's image processing. You may have compression. Yes, newer hardware obviously is going to be able to process it faster. But video also consumes a lot of bandwidth too. Like, it has to be able to store that. So you're also at the mercy of the write speeds of that back to whatever the local storage is.
And it has to be onboard processing. You can't have cloud processing for live video. It's just, I'm sorry, the reaction times are too short. You have to have powerful enough onboard processing to process the video and make decisions. No, you can't. I'm sorry. Physics has
that's where AI will come in with a local LLM. It'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what we need, is like the lag fix where, like, we assume the thing's going to be here, like the way Call of Duty does it, right? You have the three different people.
You imagine the car has the tick rate of the servers on Call of Duty, but instead it's a tick rate on the car back to the cloud server. That'd be
That's what they want. Just trust him. He knows it. He's a genius. He's fucking Iron Man. Go fucking die already, please. Fucking die.
Go die already, he said. Jesus.
Please go overdose on ketamine. Can you overdose on ketamine? Please Google that.
He's a
Hey,
family
ChatGPT,
man. He's
can
on
you overdose on
his
ketamine?
15th kid. He only has 15 babies now.
And he probably didn't fuck. Apparently, what the internet rumor is about his dick? He tried to get a penile enhancement surgery, and he has a non-functioning dick now. So all his kids are through IVF. And
his most recent baby mama, she released the text messages between him and her, and he said that he was like, oh, I just want. He was fucking creepy as fuck. But he was like, I want. He's like, I want to get you pregnant again. Like, what the fuck kind of sex talk is that?
Why would you want?
I want to give you 1 minute. I want to give you 1 minute of this pasty Cybertruck shaped body. You're gonna love it.
It'll be the best 30 seconds of your life.
30 seconds. You're being generous to that motherfucker. That creep.
Man, all those baby mamas are just like screaming to the world, I slept with this man simply because he has money.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird to me.
Yeah, he's I don't know.
He's repulsive. He's a repulsive human. I just am so annoyed at how many people, this country is so fucking stupid that they just can, like, I don't understand how they look at somebody like Elon Musk and are like, that motherfucker's brilliant. He made a lot of money. Having a lot of money is not a sign of intelligence. Please stop. It's a sign of sociopathy. It's a sign of being a fucking psycho. Would you ever? Let's say you have $1 billion. $1 billion. You're telling me you're going to spend the rest of your life shit tweeting on fucking Twitter, talking shit, doing all this nonsense, trying to impregnate 15,000 women? Like, he's a weirdo. Like, if I had $1 billion, I'd be fucking relaxing, you know? You give money away left and right. These people, they're just like weird hoarders of cash. It's fucking annoying. Oh, just die already. Just fucking die.
I mean, so that's interesting.
Tell us how
right?
you really feel.
The
they
people
should die.
that earned, well, let's say
Don't give me-
earned that $1 billion, right? Or launched successful companies because of their psychosis, right? But
Because
now
their parents gave them money.
let's say Bezos. Bezos' wife divorced him, so she
Mhm.
through the divorce got billions of dollars, and what's she doing with it? She's
Yeah.
being very what's the word? My God knows the word.
Oh,
Philanthropic?
philanthropic. Yeah.
Philanthropic. She's trying to give out. She's giving out millions of pounds, millions or billions already. She's like literally trying to get rid of her wealth. and like,
And this is what I always laugh about. Like, oh, he's so smart because he's so rich. When you get to a certain point of wealth, she's giving it away. She cannot even give it away fast enough. Like, she physically cannot give it away fast enough. Her wealth still keeps growing. Like, it's so stupid. Wealth is not real. Like, what I hate the most is this country, like stock traders. People get money trading stocks. You have generated no value. You've created no wealth. You're just gambling and made fake money. You have provided nothing to the economy. Like when they have like
that's cryptocurrency.
That's crypto as well. That's also like the markets that are like have like the fractional transactions. Like, you've created nothing.
what's her net worth? Hold on.
I wouldn't say stock and fund trading is gambling as much as like going to a casino and putting it all on black or buying crypto. I mean, you can still do educated investments.
Sure, but at the end of the
Make
day,
it out more on top than not over time.
but there's more and more stocks that are becoming like
She has
meme
almost
stock. Like Tesla's
30
the ultimate meme stock.
There is, but there's stocks that have dividends. There's stocks that are part of companies that have good numbers. They have good quarterly earnings. They have month over month growth rates. The management is doing good with the money. They have a good debt to income ratio. So there's fundamentals that you can use, and most of the time, the stocks in a good stock market, not in a flailing one, you can make money more oftentimes than not. So I don't consider investing.
I'm not talking about investing. I'm okay, fine. Like,
If
listen,
we're,
if
if we're talking
investing,
about the pink sheet stocks that are in Wolf of Wall Street, yeah, those are gambling because
no, I'm not talking about that.
they're
All
not
right, I want to talk
established
about
companies.
look at like Tesla, completely untethered from reality. That stock, it's a meme stock, right? Completely untethered from reality. It's about belief. It's about him being a con man and telling you we're gonna have AI robots that are gonna be like your servants, and that shit is not real, but people believe him. Now his stock is collapsing because now he's lost a lot of demand because he's a fucking psychopath. People are starting to see how stupid he is. But for a long time, like it's not a secret. There's videos of him 15 years ago saying we will have fully self-driving cars in 2 years. He says
still
the
doesn't
same
have-
shit for years and
they
years
still-
and years.
He still doesn't have a $35,000 car, which he promised for a long time too.
No, that's gone. By the way, it was supposed to be 25,000, and that's gone. Now it's like we're doing the cyber taxi. That shit. People think they're gonna launch a fleet of fully autonomous taxis, and I'm like, you're dreaming. It'll be a fucking bloodbath. That is not ready for release. Like, stop acting like this guy is Tony Stark. Tony Stark is a fictional character. All right, there is nobody that smart in reality. Okay, so stop. He's just a fucking trust fund kid from South Africa who takes too many drugs, inherited a lot of money, and thinks he's too smart. It's not a real person. It's not fucking Tony Stark. He's just a fucking con man.
Why?
Get over it.
Who the hell's called him Tony Stark? You keep on bringing up Tony Stark.
He was an Iron Man.
He doesn't have a Jarvis.
People have long compared him to like Tony Stark. Like, for real. That's been a thing people said about him.
Don't diss.
He's
Tony
not a
Stark like that.
genius. But exactly, like Tony. But again, Tony Stark's not a real person. He's not realistic. You know,
How dare you?
he's.
How dare you tarnish his memory?
How dare you?
I'm just saying, Luigi did nothing wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Every chance he gets, he just throws
And he's
it in there.
innocent. He didn't do
This
it. He was
freaking
framed.
podcast is gonna be the end of all of us. Thanks to fucking Miguel.
I take full responsibility.
I gotta make
Lewis
sure I have.
is a right winger. Lewis voted for Trump. Don't worry, he's fine.
I did.
Dave didn't
voted for him.
vote because he doesn't believe in democracy at all. He doesn't
Guilty
care.
as
I did
charged.
vote. I voted
Who'd
for
you vote for?
Harris. I did not vote for Trump.
Who did you vote for, Lewis? For real? I know who you voted for. You
No,
motherfucker.
at this point, it's like after our last conversation that we had, I'm
You
like,
don't want to say it. You don't want to say who you voted for.
I can say who I voted for. That's fine. But
Who?
what I'm saying is the last
first.
conversation
Say it
that
first.
you and I had, right? It doesn't matter what I say. You
That's
were
right.
biased. You're completely biased, right? And it.
I
and in the end-
accept. Listen, I'm left wing. I have never denied that I'm completely
but
left
in
wing.
the end, at the end, the tail end of that conversation is what drove me over the fucking edge, and is
Oh,
why
yeah?
I've been trolling so goddamn hard for 2 fucking days. Which Dave
I didn't
just
say you've been trolling that
recently
hard. You've been
pointed out.
disappeared for 2 days.
I didn't disappear. I was trolling, but I was busy.
A
at work.
little bit.
Was 1,000,000% trolling.
I was trolling
I know.
hard, but at the
I'm
very
aware.
end, you pulled a Sam. I don't know if you realize this, but you pulled a Sam.
What Sam did I
Look at him. He's already getting mad.
pull? I'm not mad because I know damn well I've never done anything like Sam.
You pulled a Sam. You moved the fucking goalposts, right? At the very tail end of our conversation, when we were talking about Democrats, Republicans, and you were saying no, Democrats are Republicans, and I'm like, this motherfucker. The whole time we were arguing about left versus right, and you come out and say, no, Democrats are no longer Democrats. Now they're Republicans. And I'm like, that just completely nullified our entire conversation. You know what? I'm fucking done with this shit. Fuck this. I'm
No,
right-wing,
what
I'm
I
Republican,
said-
fuck this.
What I said was you keep saying Democrats are left wing. And what I'm saying to you is that Democrats are center left at best. They are
They're still
neoliberals.
left.
They're not left. So some
You
are
just said center left. That's still
at
leans
best.
left.
At best. But you have to remember, like I don't consider like Nancy Pelosi is not left wing, right? She's a neoliberal, which in the old days would have been considered right wing, right? But the fact is, this country has skewed so far right that we act like what are the like crazy left wing? Like the Democrats don't even like national health care is not even a Democrat position for most Democrats.
It's no one's position. Nobody gives a shit. They don't care about healthcare in this country.
It's a left wing position. It's a left wing position. It's not
Nobody
the Democrats'
cares.
position. But my point is this: I'm saying if we had a left wing party, we don't have a left wing party. We have a fucking Looney Tunes MAGA retard party, and then we have the status quo. Let's hold up fucking stupid signs while our country is collapsing party. That's not a real opposition party. It's a status quo party. That's why I'm like, oh, the Democrats are so crazy left wing and woke. And I'm like, where are you watching? Do you think this? They don't advocate for any fucking left wing positions.
So,
Anyway, my point is this. If you made a lot of things about Harris that. The bottom line is we had 2 choices. We had Harris and Trump.
Actually, we had more than that, but go ahead.
We had 2 choices. Realistically. Okay? A third party is not winning.
There were more than 2 names on the ballot, so no.
We had 2 choices.
Stop giving out fake news.
We had 2 choices because we have a first past the post system. So a vote for a third party is a wasted vote. CGP Grey has an excellent video about it. If you don't understand this, we have 2 parties. Okay? Until we don't have first past the post voting, that's it. There's 2 parties. A vote, if you vote for anybody besides the 2 parties, you're voting for the other party. The party you don't want. That's it. So, if you looked at both these candidates and you said, Trump's better than Harris, you're stupid. Or you're a billionaire. That's it. Stupid, evil, or billionaire. Your 3 choices.
So,
who'd you vote for, Lewis?
I think we know Sam is not a billionaire.
He voted for Jill Stein. Well, that doesn't even make fucking sense.
You know, I was this close to voting for Jill Stein.
First of all, What
you vote for?
positions?
I was this close, but
Sam is
I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Well, I'm answering your,
what Jill
I'm-
Stein
I'm
positions
an-
do? What is even her platform? What's her
I'm
platform?
I'm answering your question. So I was this close, right? I was at the voting booth, and
You better
I'm
hurry
like,
up because I gotta piss.
I'm not voting for Trump. I do not
Good.
want to vote for Harris. I like it's just
You're lucky
both
you're
of
in New
them.
Jersey.
The both of them are just like I can't stand either one of them, right?
But
I
how can
can't-
you put them? How can you compare them?
I'm trying to answer your question.
All right, fine.
These goddamn liberals don't fucking listen.
I'm not a liberal. I'm a fucking leftist.
You're
I'm
a liberal that doesn't want to shut the fuck up.
Lewis, tell him how you really feel. Holy shit.
Not a liberal. Lefty. Continue.
Whatever. Lefty liberal, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Left. Not a liberal.
All right, I know a new bumper sticker I got to order for him. Anyways, so I came this close to Jill Stein. I'm like, I can't stand Trump. And I know it. Look, it's not a cop out, right? I can't stand what he represents and his character. I've always had a character issue with the fucking guy. I remember I had countless conversations with my uncle about this, who is hardcore Trump. And him and I would have these conversations all the time over beers at Applebee's every time he comes up from Florida. Every fucking time.
You're so fucking mad you're going to Applebee's.
We're going to Applebee's because that's where he fucking can park his truck. And he's a big parking lot. He's like, I need a place to park my fucking truck.
Most of the country, hello, Trump won. Most of the country's fucking retarded. Like that's not something that's the negative to Harris
No,
because people didn't like her.
It's a third of the country.
I'm gonna assume if you
Actually,
didn't
no.
vote
We keep saying a third, right? But it's actually not a third. Isn't it something like
of eligible voters, I know. Whatever.
it's like 57 or 58%, or I think it's under 60% are actually eligible. There's 100 million people that are not eligible.
100 million. There's that many people under 18.
I think so. I think it's like 90 something million. I'm rounding up, but it was surprisingly
Either way.
larger than I thought.
The point is this: I assume similar distribution of non-voters to voters. You know, I assume uninterested parties, if they became interested, would probably have the same breakdown. So it's the same shit.
Probably.
I'm just saying. I don't know how you look at them. I don't know how you look at those two and say they're basically the same. It doesn't matter who wins. We can listen. Whatever you think of the Democrats, this shit would not be happening. This tariff, yes tariff, no tariff, fucking everyday switching. This shit's not even happening. We're not going to be at war. Yeah,
He's like, fuck this shit.
As I've been holding them. We're not going to be withdrawing support from Ukraine if Harris won. We're not going to be feeding our info to Russia if Harris won. We're not going to be fighting with the EU or Canada or Mexico if Harris won. It was an enormous difference.
Yeah, I don't get
in the candidates.
thing. I think he has a hard on for Trudeau.
Trudeau. He has a hard on for Putin. Whatever Putin says, that's what it is.
But
He's
why
owned.
Canada? What does he have against Canada?
It's not about having anything against Canada. It's that this is what I want. I want to take it. I want to be like Putin. I want to annex my neighbors. Like Putin's trying to fucking annex Ukraine. He wants to fucking annex Canada because that's what powerful people do. That's what strong people do.
No, it's the fentanyl.
That's
It's got to be the fentanyl, which
the fentanyl.
it accounts for 0.7%.
First of all, more fentanyl goes into Canada from the U.S. than comes into the U.S. from Canada.
That's what
it's
I mean.
A fake fucking
it's
story.
Like 0.7, 0.8% of actual imports come in from Canada. It's not.
It's stupidity.
It's negligible.
It's stupidity.
Mexico is a lot higher, so whatever.
Yeah, fine. Listen, man. It's an excuse. It's not a real reason. It's just about flexing and acting tough. I think you can bully people into giving you whatever they want. He's learning real quick. That's not how it works.
I think his wife. Remember that picture I posted with him and his wife. Actually, him, his wife, and Ivanka all look like they like Justin.
I
think that's why. And he already said he's stepping down, right? Isn't he stepping down the next month or so?
Well, they have to have the new elections, but yes.
Yeah. So I don't
But
know if that's going to change anything. Probably not.
well, what's happened is it's actually so he was going to step down. It was looking like the Conservative Party in Canada was going to win until Trump, and now they are getting demolished in all polls because it has stoked such like patriotism in Canada, and they've seen that like the Conservative Party has been basically like a mini MAGA party in Canada. And they're like, oh, Poilievre, I'm not gonna maybe I'm pronouncing his name wrong. The conservative, like, basically he would become the prime minister if the Conservative Party took the majority.
I haven't followed any of that.
So basically, he was endorsed by Elon Musk. He's
Oh,
been endorsed by Elon Musk.
say less.
So that is now an albatross around his fucking neck and around the neck of that party. So now it's looking like it's going to be a destruction the other way, thanks to Trump and Elon Musk in Canada, due to how much they've united Canada against the United States in the tariff stuff.
Wait, so you're saying the Conservative Party in Canada is now against us? They don't. Are they
No, the
not
Conservative
rallying
Party
together anymore on the conservative side? To
So
elect someone
remember,
that's
they have a parliamentary system. They have more than two parties. They have coalitions, and so they don't have the same kind of voting system as us. But the one party that used to be basically a mini MAGA party, they used to always be like, they kind of also, some of the people in that party were like, yeah, we'd love to be the 51st state. It's kind of the shit they were saying. So now they're getting demolished.
Mm.
So that's what it's basically leading to. They will be kind of sidelined, and it will be Justin Trudeau's party is going to win again, but he probably won't be the prime minister again.
Like I said, the real question is, when someone else is voted in, is Trump going to change his tune?
No, of course not.
You don't think it's something specific against Justin?
No, it's not. It's just Putin has ordered him. He wants the West fractured. There's unity among the West. NATO is something that Putin hates because it cripples Russia. They can't expand.
Mm-hmm.
He wants NATO destroyed. And what would destroy NATO? Well, I guess the U.S. doesn't want anything to do with NATO. But, it's going to be basically NATO without the U.S. after this. And now Europe's going to start building up their armies.
I like how he what was it recently? He publicly went out and was trashing Japan because of their lack of military,
which they're not allowed to have.
That's what. We know that story. After World War II, they're not allowed to have a military. So does.
But he doesn't understand that stuff.
The disinformation, but is it disinformation or does he not know history?
He does not. I think people really have a hard time understanding that he is a fucking moron. It's not an exaggeration. He's good at like doing the con man shit. He's a good marketer. He's got some kind of charisma that some people like. He's not a smart person. He's very stupid. He doesn't like read. He's not like keeping up with world events. Even everybody who leaves,
he reads. He just doesn't fact check.
He reads fucking.
Like
he listens to Fox.
Mice. Don't forget transgender mice.
He watches Fox News. That's where he gets his news from. It's not as secret. There's people who have like left his administration during the first thing. They said like they would have to make like little cliff notes and simple things to feed him information because he would not read any reports they gave him. He
ain't gonna read that either. Yeah, he likes shooting from the hip. That's his problem.
Yeah, he likes shooting from his little fucking shrimp dick. That's what he likes shooting from. He has no fucking intelligence.
What is
Dave? Step in. Hold on, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. You guys can take this over.
Dave has very insightful information about this entire topic. Here it goes. Ready?
I do not.
Go.
That's why I stay shut the hell up during politics talks, because I don't follow any of that. I do dislike Trump. I do recognize he has charisma, even though I don't understand why that charisma is effective.
I don't understand that charisma either. So many people think he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's put up on the pedestal. I don't understand it. They think he's a god. Did you mean Fort Knox, not Fort No?
Yes, I did mean Fort Knox.
What is it? Fort Knox and gold? What is this?
You didn't read that him and Musk want to go to Fort Knox to verify that there's gold in there that they think it has been stolen?
No.
100%. That's a thing.
They probably want to fill it with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
They want to fill a virtual currency.
So here's where I think, and it pissed me off because it's a little bit of insulting, right? He's trying to put out actions to the country, trying to say he was like, I'm so American, and America has so lost its way. So like, I'm trying to do all these things to remake America what it once was. I was like, so that's why he was like, oh, I'm gonna like, I don't believe there's gold in Fort Knox. I think the government stole it. The government before me. Like he's trying to portray the government before him was completely incompetent. So now he's putting out an image to the rest to the country saying, I'm fixing the country to what it once was.
We decoupled from the gold standard in, was it 72, 76, somewhere around there.
hmm
So obviously the reserve means dick, right? When it's tied to the dollar, it no longer meant anything being tied to the dollar. So there could be any dollar value from 0 to, I don't know, a few trillion in terms of what's actually in Fort Knox. But
Well,
does it matter?
apparently
If we're not
Musk
in the gold
floated the
standard,
idea.
well, yeah, but if we're not in the gold standard, what does it matter how much is in the reserve? I don't think it really matters anymore.
They want to say it's nothing
Because
while they steal all of it.
right.
Oh, there was nothing. There was nothing there. There was nothing there when we looked.
But you're tracking on that, right? That they want to go check the golden
Yeah,
Fort Knox.
I saw that.
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Lewis
Yeah,
wasn't tracking that.
I didn't hear that.
That's the nuke. There's multiple conspiracy theories going on that there's no gold in Fort Knox. This is floated by the president. You can go fucking look. You're the fucking president.
Well, it was stolen. It wasn't. It was stolen in Die Hard 3.
Yeah, exactly. You're
No,
right.
that wasn't Fort Knox. That was the
No, that wasn't. It was just that.
For
That was
all the
a
gold
bag.
near Fort Knox. Well, he said that in the movie, but yeah, it was the
Mm.
what was it?
Mhm.
The New York, one of the exchanges over there, the banks.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. We are.
This reminds me of
We're on
bruisology
chapter,
right now.
We're on chapter 3 of Idiocracy right now.
Chapter 3. This is what they always say. Like this is not something I've said. I've not invented
This
this.
is just the
what's been
beginning.
said.
We're only 2 months in. What do you mean it's not the
This
beginning?
is not idiocracy because you know what? In idiocracy, the difference, which again, this is not an original thought, this is what everybody said. The president realized shit's hitting the fan. It's horrible. I have to find somebody smarter than me. The problem is this president thinks nobody's smarter than him. He thinks everything he says is fucking like the gospel according to fucking Donald Trump. And his followers agree. There's nothing he can do to change their feelings. There's nothing he can do. The smartest thing he ever says was he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose a single follower. He really fucking wouldn't. Where are the Epstein files they're going to release? What happened? Now they're a national security risk. It's a national security risk to release the Epstein files? How could that be? That was one of his big promises.
They've been releasing the Epstein files for the past like 6 years.
But there was a whole thing, right? A week ago, they were supposed to release the full Epstein files that they have on the government.
Every week they say that. They've been saying that for years.
They've been saying that for years, but the problem is this was one of Trump's big campaign. Like this is one of the things that like the QAnon, the MAGA people are like, we're gonna see all the fucking like lefteries and the Hollywoods and all that shit because Trump's gonna release it. Everything Trump says he's gonna do, he only does the shit that fucks up everything. He never does any of the good
But
stuff.
how much of it, when it actually releases, is going to be redacted?
But that's the point. Why is he redacting it?
Doesn't want his name.
Why is Trump redacting it? Who's he protecting?
Himself.
Musk.
Himself, of course. Exactly. You tell me Trump cares about other people? Trump cares about other people? He'll throw anybody under the fucking bus. He doesn't give a shit.
He cares about everyone. He cares about the whole country. What do you mean?
Oh, yes, I know. He's a true patriot. A true patriot.
Oh man, this episode is apparently the politics episode.
I'm surprised because that's the thing you've been avoiding forever.
I'm at a point where whatever.
Accept it. Politics
blame-
is life.
I blame
Politics
a
is
producer
life.
because he's not here. It's his fault.
Yeah, bad project manager.
A producer tries to be a product manager.
I did realize I'm the only one that doesn't put his real name.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
Right,
Mm.
right
His name is Dave, by the way.
there. Motherfucker. How you guys call me Dave all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always say Dave. They're probably wondering who the fuck is Dave. Yeah, this character.
The guy that responds when you say Dave.
Hey, Dave.
All right. Let's switch topics.
You know,
Let's switch
Dave,
gears.
Dave was a minion too. You should
Was
dress as
he?
a minion
was a
next
minion.
week.
No. Okay.
When we can do a
So-
live, we should do a live. We should do a live in-person podcast one of these days. I know everybody's
Yeah.
waiting on
We
bated
should.
breath for that.
You
Yeah.
should. Why? So nobody can show up for it?
If
Oh, we'll be there. We'll be there
If-
for sure.
if Al ever decides to join in with us, me, Al, and Miguel could do beer reviews.
There you go.
Lewis could do beer reviews. Lewis likes beer. You don't like beer?
No
Oh.
doubt. I went to
I'm
beer
about to
fest.
say. I'm
I
pretty sure
drink
you like beer.
Ed is the
Yeah.
one that doesn't like beer.
Ed doesn't like beer. Joel doesn't really like beer either.
Yeah, but Lewis doesn't like post his beer hauls. Like, although I haven't done it for a while. But, like me, you, and Al.
I
did
just
for
drink
a
it and
while
piss
there.
it back out. I don't,
But
I do need a
what is
refill.
all right, so like when I get a beer haul, right? Usually my beer fridge is empty and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stock it up because I like to see clean facing shelves. Like I like to see it like stocked up for my deli dates. So I'll buy a bunch. I'll go to like Total Wine and I'll buy a bunch of different random shit and some stuff I like regular stuff, and some like never saw this, never saw this, never saw this. When you go buy beer or alcohol or anything, what do you buy? What do you like? What's your buying strategy?
I don't know. I'm not big on alcohol. Like if I had like a long week or some shit on my way home on like a Friday, I'll probably pick up like a 12 pack or 24 pack or some shit.
Of
and I'll
what?
drink? I don't
Miller
know.
Lite.
Sometimes Stella, sometimes
Bud Light.
Yeah,
You know,
see?
Bud Light. Oh, that fucking shit's disgusting.
It is disgusting, and
Some
that's not a political
Budweiser.
statement.
Ugh,
Oh, I
That's
hate
not a
Budweiser.
political statement.
that is fucking terrible.
Fucking, I think Corona is the worst beer on the fucking planet.
I would rather drink Corona than Bud Light.
I
any
thought
day
you were
of the
about to
fucking
make a
week.
Kid Rock comment about when you mentioned that.
Well, that's why I said it's not political that I don't like Bud Light, because obviously, politically, I don't agree with any
Politically or
corporation.
not, it
Right.
tastes like shit.
It doesn't taste good. It's not a good beer. It's not a good beer. I don't know why anybody
Budweiser,
drinks
Bud
it.
Light, none of them are any. Those are not good beers. I remember
No.
trying it for the first time. Back when I lived on the old block, the same block I met Edric, and the downstairs neighbor was like, they were like Southern, they were like Hicks, and that's all he would drink was Budweiser. And one day he came to me, this is back in the day when we were burning CDs, and he wanted to get a bunch of songs burned onto a CD, and he was drinking. He's like, "Hey man, you want a beer?" I'm like, "Sure." And he hands me a Budweiser, and I opened it up, and the first time I tasted it, he saw the look on my face, and he's like, "You all right?" He's like, "What? You never tasted beer before?" I'm like, "I never tasted beer this bad before."
No.
Dude, you would have thought I insulted his mother by the look on his face. He's like,
I
"What?
don't get.
What do you mean
people-
bad beer?" I'm like, "This tastes like shit, man." I mean,
It's
I'd
so
rather
bad.
drink Coors Light, and even that's kind of, but at least it was tolerable.
Coors
Man,
Light.
Okay, so
I used to drink a lot of Coors Light back in the day, like
In
early
college.
drinking.
In
In
college,
college,
I drank a lot of
It was a easy drinking, cheap beer. It was fine. It
Yeah.
was fine.
When we were poor in
Yeah.
college. I remember drinking a lot of Coors Light back then.
Yeah.
So, how trustworthy is the drink by dates on beer?
Is that a Best Buy?
They're
Or is
They're
that
Best Buy. They're Best Buy
Best-
dates, not Drink Buy.
Best Buy.
Yeah. What's the date?
I'm scared to say.
Is
Are
it-
you within 6 months?
is that a creation date,
'Cause
like the
it's-
date
it
bottled
starts
or the
going-
date expired?
No,
It
it
starts
says
going flat.
it says Best Buy June 11th, 24.
I'd still drink it. I'll be honest. I'll just try it.
It's gonna taste flatter, so that's
But you gonna pour into a glass?
no.
You
'Cause
fucking.
I would have to
savage.
go all the way downstairs for a fucking glass.
What is that? Which one? Victory is that? Cherry Blossom
Blossom.
IPA. Oh, a little bit of Japanese in there.
Dilly dilly. All right, let's see it.
Not really.
Chug, chug,
Dilly
chug,
dilly.
chug. Survey says,
It's still good.
does
I
it
might
taste
die.
any flatter or no?
a little tad bit flatter, but
You know what it is? Like over time, as soon as you open it, more of the gas comes out. Like longer it's been sitting, and it just yeah, tastes flatter, but it's still drinkable.
Unless it's a beer you can age. I do have some of those.
I remember drinking a Coors Light once that was sitting in the fridge for a while, like a garage, like it sat in the garage for years. And I
Yes.
want to say it was like 6 or 7 years past the date.
Oof.
That shit was
That's like-
nasty. That shit
that's
was
like-
fucking nasty.
That's
I'm
bad.
like, oh, I'm not gonna waste beer, and I took one sip. I'm like, oh, that was a
No, thank you.
an instant regret decision. Just don't
so
drink
actually,
more.
I have bottles of liquor that's been sitting. Like, I have the Game of Thrones bottles of liquors. I kind of forgot, like, because they're like,
Blickers are
off
like
to the
go
s-
bad.
I know, no, it's not that I think it goes bad, but it's like I'm never gonna drink all of this. I got
some Southern
bottles
Comfort
all
in there
over
from
the
like 10 years
kitchen.
ago.
When
Still tastes fine.
my grandmother was trying to empty out her house, I have bottles that my grandmother had. I think I have 50-year-old bottles of liquor that I took to my grandmother's house. 50, 60-year-old bottles of liquor
Wow,
that, like, in the original packaging, everything.
nice.
I'm like, what if these are worth anything? Old ass bottles.
Did you look it up?
Of course
That,
not.
that
Where
was
am
a
I, you are?
while ago, right? Like that's when you sent us pictures of like stuff down in our basement if we wanted anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I wanted that fucking barrel, and you're like you're not. There's no way you're lifting that fucking thing.
I have that barrel. I brought
Do
that
you?
up to my house. Yes. It fell apart immediately when I tried to move it.
Oh,
Oh, so you
So,
don't
yeah.
have it anymore.
I have it, but it's just like kind of like
in
not.
pieces?
It's not in pieces as so much as like it's lost some. You have to get a Cooper to like fix. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I tried. I was like, maybe I can make it to a tabletop, something. I took all the my grandfather's old winemaking stuff, and it's just not in any kind of workable condition. And it's fucking heavy. I so regret taking it because now I just want to get rid of it. So
Don't be
Yeah.
a hoarder.
it's in my basement. Yeah, I is being a little bit of a hoarder. Mm. But I hate to get rid of that stuff, you know?
Right a minute. When I saw it, I was like, man, that's such a cool fucking. So I don't blame you for taking it.
Yeah,
Like-
I did. Yeah.
I would be happy even like. I mean, it sucked that it kind of fell apart a little bit. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's not worth fixing it, but
You guys
yeah,
are making me
just
thirsty.
simply
I'll
as
be
a
right back.
display piece would be fucking awesome.
If I could get it to be even display worthy, but it's so old and like it needs so much work that I just don't have the expertise for it. I'm not gonna pay. So if you want it, you want the barrel, you can have the fucking barrel. Give it to you.
Well, now I got to look at it again.
Yeah,
The
I know.
picture looked really good.
Yeah. It's not as good as you think. It doesn't look as good as you think it will.
Got it.
And I have like the big metal like the grape crusher.
Okay.
Now that thing still will work. You probably just have to replace like the container, but the actual but that thing is like 300 pounds. Like it was insanely heavy to move that shit. But it's solid. It's a solid piece of metal. Like that shit's still will work today. Still works fine.
Yeah.
But it needs just the accessories and stuff for it.
So did either of you guys watch that show on Netflix, Zero Day?
No.
With Robert De Niro.
No.
No, I haven't even heard of this shit. It's a show or a movie?
It's not a show. It's a 6-episode
Miniseries.
miniseries, right? Like it's a one-time thing. It's not like there's gonna be a season
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
Miniseries.
Miniseries.
It was interesting. I mean, I'll give you this now, you guys, because I don't want to ruin it if you guys do want to see it. But there was an attack, a cyber attack in America.
I have heard about this.
Yes.
Nice.
Now I'm interested. You said the word cyber.
It's not. It's Robert. I don't know why I was thinking when you said Robert De Niro. I was thinking of fucking again, Iron Man. What's his name?
Oh,
Robert
Downey
Jr.
Jr.
Yeah, I was like, Robert Downey Jr.
What?
did a fucking miniseries. I was like, what?
Oh boy.
Anyway, Robert De Niro's character was a
Yeah.
former president, and after the cyber attack, he leads a commission to basically find out who's at the root of the attack, so that America could retaliate or whatever. It ended up being a whole like I'm kind of weird because I thought it was gonna be like either supernatural or like alien type thing or whatever.
Spoiler
and
alert: it was the Americans.
spoiler, it was Americans. Um, or whatever. But then it
I
kind of
totally
went.
guessed that too. I'm like,
It kind of went back into like
uh-huh.
reality. Like they explained what it at first was looking like a supernatural part.
Mhm.
So they explained that. So then I got really like re-interested again. Um, and it ended satisfactory, like right, like it ended
Really?
like everything was all tied up. Like, was it amazing? Am I gonna stay here and say like you guys have to watch it? Go watch it right now. Fuck this podcast. No, it's nothing like that. But it was enjoyable for 6 hours.
I heard mixed reviews about it. But
I watched.
I mean, I'll tell you what, it had me wanting to see the last episode. Like it was
okay.
not like the first episode was good because that's the attack, and you're like, oh shit, and then like building up and like ramping up, and then the second to last episode was really good, and then it made you really want to watch the last episode. So like and the last episode tied everything up. It was good.
Okay. I will probably not
I'm
watch it, but
I'm somewhat intrigued, but I probably won't watch it.
yeah.
All right, so then I don't feel bad. Yeah, it was definitely the Americans. It was
Okay.
it was a coup. They were trying to do a coup.
Oh wow, how
Speaking
prophetic!
of which, did you guys ever watch that TV show, The Americans?
No.
I watched the first season. I
That
think
was a
it was
good
a.
show.
I heard. Yeah, I wish I got to go back and watch it because I heard that it like was strong throughout the entire show and it was like an awesome show all throughout. But
Yeah,
I have to go back and watch it.
I remember watching it, and I was late to the party. I wanted to say I was like 4 years late, and I just
Oh no, I
binge
watched when it
watched
came
the
out.
first fucking. I don't even know how many seasons it was. It was quite a few seasons.
I think it was 5 seasons.
And
But
then there was like an actress or two on there that ended up going to the Ozarks. You ever guys watch the Ozarks? I haven't
I
seen the
watched
last
Ozark, but I
Ozark.
only remember the two main actors, so I don't know. And Kerry
Yeah.
Russell was not on Ozark. So
No, the blonde girl, she was younger on the Americans, but the blonde girl was.
it's so. How long ago was this show?
Which one?
Americans was a long time ago. I feel like
The Americans was a while ago, yeah.
it was one of the first like big FX shows when FX was
Yeah.
first like launching. I feel like.
Well, no, it was, TLDR is fucking. It was a Russian family that was here, part of the KGB, and they were living here as Americans, reporting back spy shit to
Well,
Russia.
the mother and
Which is
father.
kind of strange because we're still kind of in cahoots with Russia, so it's still relevant today.
Well,
Yeah,
it's relevant in that.
Yeah, the
today
mother
the-
and father ran a travel agency as a front.
Yes, and they were both spies. They ended up having kids in America, and then it's kind of like, are we Americans? Are we Russians? Like, or do we really want to be part? So
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah, they were, slipping secrets about power plants and
Yeah.
nuclear power plants and trade secrets.
It was a really good
military.
show.
It was a good show.
I gotta
Definitely
go
a
back
good
and
show.
watch it again. That was so good.
I gotta see how many seasons was the
Did
American.
you guys ever watch The Shield?
I used to watch The Shield.
That was another good FX show back in the
Yeah.
prime days of FX. FX has had some really good shows actually.
Yeah, what's his name was on that show? He plays the dick very well. He was on what's his
the main
zombie
guy?
show?
The dick.
main guy?
Not Vic Mackey, the partner, the other guy, the one that always played the asshole. What the fuck is his name? He was in
Is he in the one that in White Lotus now? Wait, was he in that one?
so bad recalling names. I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna have Alzheimer's or some shit when I get older. I have such a hard time recalling. I gotta look up the cast for The Shield.
Oh, you're talking about Walton Goggins?
Yes, him. That's it.
Dude, he's one of my favorite actors of all time. He's in so many good shit.
Well,
He's in
that's
so
when I
many good
first got
characters.
introduced to
He's
him.
in
He was
Fallout.
on that show. He was
He's
on
in
that
Fallout.
show.
He's in Fallout. He was
Yeah.
the ghoul. He's right now. He's in White Lotus season
Yeah, but how
3.
old is The Shield? Wasn't that like back in before 2010? Has it been that long already?
Shield is
2002.
old. Shield is
2002.
old. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because I remember when it first started, the Shield was when it first started, it was 4x3, and it went to 16x9 later, but it launched as a 4x3 show. What's that?
No, I'm looking. It says 2002 or 2008. Didn't feel like it was that long ago.
Oh yeah, Shield feels like a
Yeah,
long-
she was old.
That
I never watched it, but I know of it. And I know that was a long time ago.
That show was amazing. Amazing show. Highly recommend. I want to go back and watch it again. It was so good.
Did you guys
It
ever
was
watch
so-
24?
No, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, but I got into it like well into the fucking
So,
seasons. And there was like
um,
3 seasons in the middle that were actually really good.
so
And then I stopped watching.
24 is 1 hour out of the 24-hour day, right? So it's a 24 episode
Yeah.
season.
The TV
Yeah.
show The Pit is doing the same
I was
format.
that's what I
Mhm.
was about to say. The Pit's doing
Mhm.
the same thing.
It's the same, yeah. Each
That's
But
why I heard the
they're not
Pit
gonna
is-
do
episode is
24 hours.
1 hour.
They're gonna do a 12-hour shift.
Is it
So
12?
Usually
episodes?
ERs are usually 12-hour shifts.
I just watched the latest episode before we
Actually,
started.
I just realized I had to go in and watch that.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's a good show.
It's
I know
pretty-
the end of the last episode, you know, the shit happened outside, and then all of a sudden the end of this episode is like, what the fuck, man?
All right, don't say nothing else.
They deal with a lot. They deal with a
Don't say
lot of
nothing
shit in
else.
their fucking shift, man. Like,
Dave, have you watched the new Daredevil yet? 'Cause I have not. I have not.
I have not. No, I have not.
I'm
I've
so
been.
burned out on Marvel. So
I was
burned out.
watching.
I thought
I
you
was
loved
watching
Marvel.
Zero Day. I watched that movie, The Substance with Demi Moore.
Oh, that's the Oscar nominee, but I didn't see that. I don't watch movies anymore. Was it good?
It
was the best
it
picture,
started it started off really well, but then the ending. By the ending, I was like, now it's gotten ridiculous. But there was one thing, and I didn't catch it. My girl actually mentioned it, and I was like, oh shit, is this movie like symbology for the 7 deadly sins? Because there were
Mhm.
like big parts of the movie that were like, oh, well, that's clearly gluttony, and just simply by the celebrity, that's pride or vanity or whatever. I was like, oh, and then I started like correlating other parts of the movie that were like, oh, it has to be 7 deadly sins. But then I googled it, and they're like, nope, that's just coincidence. I'm like, how the fuck is that coincidence? It's like clearly like like there's no way this is coincidence. Like there's
Well,
so
mm,
to
I
talk
haven't
about
seen it. I
gluttony.
haven't seen it, so I can't.
To talk about gluttony, what one scene in the movie is like, without giving a whole lot away, it's while one side is asleep, the other side is active. So then when they vice versa, they see what the other person did or whatever. So there was one that's like the gluttony was like ate so much food, the entire apartment was covered in freaking like food, like almost like a hoarder status, but like wrappers of food, containers, and plates of food and all this stuff.
By the way,
I'm
Just
like,
so
how's
you
that
know.
not gluttony?
so gluttony, by the way, even though now it's always about food, in the Bible, originally gluttony was the hoarding of wealth. That was the
Yes.
original gluttons. Was not food.
Yep.
Gluttony was the wealthy. The wealthy are going to hell. If there's I hope that's the only reason I hope there's a hell, because I'm actually an atheist. Just so that all the fucking billionaires can fucking go there and die and suffer for eternity. Because you're all garbage people.
Gluttonous people.
Gluttonous. Hoarders.
You still haven't told us how you really feel.
One day I will, Lewis. One day. And you'll see me getting the FBI busting when I tell you how I really feel about them.
Yeah, I wish we had a
But yeah, the
soundboard
ending of
here.
that movie was kind of like ridiculous. Like
I heard
I
the
was
twist
like-
was bad, but I don't know.
it could have ended at one point. I would have been like, okay, like you, and it wasn't definitely going to be a surprise. Like you 100% knew from the start of the movie how it was going to freaking end, right? Like the ending wasn't going to be any type of surprise. So like I'm watching, I'm like, okay, it's going to end here, but then it just kept on going, and then it kept on going, and then it kept on going, and I'm like, all right, now this is fucking retarded. So I did not like the ending of that movie at all.
By the way, the R word has really made a comeback in the vernacular recently. I remember it was kind of like a little foreboding for a while, but even I've brought it back into my
We are
into my
drinking
Chat
speech.
wants to know what we're drinking.
Cherry
What are we
Blossom
drinking?
IPA. by
Surfside
Victory.
vodka and iced tea.
1906. This is a Spanish beer.
Trying to get rid of some old.
Of course, the Spaniard will drink a Spanish beer.
It's well beyond its
That's
best
right.
by date, so I gotta get rid of it.
My next one will be Japanese beer. My first one was an American beer, so I got to hit all the All the
Going through all the
continents,
continents.
Exactly.
Where's the Australian beer at? And you sure as hell don't have an
Australia.
Antarctica beer.
No, I was gonna say that. I was like, I wonder if there's a little mini brewery in Antarctica.
No
that's like the
freaking way.
You
Imagine
think?
if,
Let me
imagine if
tell
their
you,
logo was penguins.
let me ask.
Go.
Stupid.
You're telling me, I'm guaranteeing you, there's like some scientist who's running has a little mini beer keg making beer in Antarctica.
No freaking way.
Not as a brewery, but there probably are people in
brewing his own
Antarctica.
beer.
Yes, brewing their own beer.
They would
I
save a fortune
guarantee
on
it.
cooling costs. I mean,
I guarantee you, there's Antarctica brewed beer. I know.
Hold on. Wait, before anybody says anything of our beers, Byron, why would you choose 1906 out of all our beers that you saw? Because I guarantee he knows nothing about the beer. He probably just
message from the chat.
Yep. He probably just saw the label and said, "That's the beer I would drink."
No, he's probably
knows nothing
that
about
was a
it.
good year. It was a good year.
I like this as a little malty flavor. Like
I just told you not to explain to me. You're it anyway.
Well, it's a delay.
Well, what are we gonna do? Be quiet? You can take an hour to
Yeah,
respond.
I can't just wait here. I have to talk.
Well, let's have a moment of silence while chat responds.
So anyway, are you guys? Yeah, let me think. Australian. The only beer I know from Australia is Foster's. To be honest, I don't know any other Australian beers.
Australian beer.
I mean, yeah, I know Foster's as well, but they have to have tons of beer. There's no way.
Oh, I'm sure
they.
But we don't really get a lot of. We don't like get a lot of distribution of Australian beers here that I'm aware of.
Chat GPT. Let's call the Australian beers. Let's see how many we got.
Like I've had multiple Japanese beers, Chinese beers, like European beers. Every country I've drank beers from, I feel like, except Australia and Foster's. I mean, Foster's a pretty big beer though. That was very popular for a long time. I wonder if in like
there's probably beers that we've heard of before. We just didn't realize we're Australian though. I'm betting.
No, I always look where beers come from.
Great Northern. I don't think I've drank that, but I've seen that before.
I wonder if like we know Foster's an Australian beer, right? But
I've had Skinny Blonde before. Skinny Blonde's Australian.
Isn't that a margarita?
Is it? No, it's a beer.
I've never heard of Skinny Blonde. So like, all right. So we like when I go to like other countries and I see they have Budweiser on tap and that's like the American beer and I'm like, oh, gross. Why was that beer? So I wonder if like in Australia, Foster's is like, oh, you guys drink Foster's in America. Like that's not really Australian beer. Like that's our garbage beer. You know,
that's our garbage beer.
Who the fuck would have Budweiser on tap?
They have it in other countries because remember, Budweiser is international. Budweiser is not even an American company anymore. It's run by the AmBev Corporation, which is like European corporation. They have worldwide distribution. So Budweiser is in every country. Budweiser is in every country.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, they have it.
Yeah, pretty much all these beers I never heard of before.
Interesting.
I don't even know it. I can't even see. I don't know any Australian beers. I've had every major like Japanese, even in America. I think you can get almost every major Japanese brewer.
I'll put it in chat so everybody can play along.
Europe, I've had definitely like multiple Spanish beers. Here,
that's not an exclusive list. That's just a wiki list. So it's in chat for
okay. Let's see
podcast.
Australian beer brands. No.
So I'm sure there's more than that, but it's just what's listed on wiki. Queensland Brewery.
I haven't seen any of these fucking things. And also they're like very like just general names. Like I could easily confuse them for like an American beer, but like I've definitely only had Foster's.
I don't know if I've ever actually tried Foster's before. I don't think I have.
I tried it recently actually because I'm like, I said the same thing. You know what else I had recently where I was like, have I ever drank this? Now, I'm gonna ask you guys to guess. What used to be a popular commercial, had a good kind of like it had a good commercial, became very popular for a while. It's a foreign beer that for some reason just became huge commercial wise. But I don't know anybody who I've talked to that ever be like, yeah, I drank that.
Dos Equis?
I was about to say this.
Everybody drinks Dos Equis. No, this is like think
I was
like
going to say the same thing, and then he says everybody like nobody's tried it before. I'm like, no, a lot of people have tried it before.
Think 20 years ago. Think 20 years ago was big advertisement.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, the biggest beer advertisement was the Budweiser Frogs.
Budweiser. Do you guys know any?
Oh no,
beers?
That's more than 20 years ago. That's like 30 years ago.
Do you guys know any Jamaican beers?
Fuck, we're old.
Yeah, Jamaican beers. It was Red Stripe.
Alexa, listed.
Have you ever had Red Stripe?
I've had Red Stripe. Yep.
I bought that within the last month
Oh yeah.
because it's still on. Yeah, and it was fucking good. It was pretty good beer actually. I was
Yeah.
surprised. Like, oh, Red Stripe's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I don't think
It's
I've ever
pretty good.
tried Red Stripe. Now I think about it.
But remember there was commercials for that for a while, and it was like blew up for a little bit. I don't know why.
I completely forgot about it. To be
You
honest.
remember? Maybe around like 25 years ago. You remember that? Miguel might know this. Those shirts that came out that look like if you're standing straight up, so you're looking at the shirt straight up, it looks like Japanese letters, right? But then if you turn it sideways, it said "F U."
I
You
do not
remember?
remember this.
You
I
remember
don't
those
remember
shirts?
this. No, I
So
don't.
for a little while,
thought-
those shirts were all over the place. So I remember my aunt with my little cousin. They came back from some type of vacation, so they found that shirt in some type of souvenir shop. He wanted it, so they came home with that. And I remember seeing that. And I was like, "Do you guys know what that shirt says?" And they're like, "What? No, it's a souvenir." Like, no, I don't know how to read Japanese. I was like, no, it's not that you have to read Japanese. So I picked up my cousin because I picked up my cousin and turned him sideways. And I'm like, read the shirt now. And they're like, oh my god, and they were walking all over the place with that shirt on, having no idea that he was walking like telling everybody to fuck off.
Dude, that was that during like the heyday of like.
I thought you were about to say, "Oh, you remember those times when they used to wear those affliction shirts?"
Well,
I
I was more
remember those
thinking.
times too.
I was more thinking like the Big Johnson days, like No Fear, Big Johnson. Remember there was like the big, like the Jersey Shore T-shirts. You'd go and there'd just be always so many like
They're fucking
random.
everywhere.
The Big Johnson and No Fear was enormous when we were kids.
Yep. They
You
were
remember that
fucking
at all,
everywhere. I remember that it was everywhere.
Yeah, it was.
The Trapper Keeper stickers, the stickers for people
Trapper
on their
Keeper.
bikes. They were fucking everywhere. No Fear was everywhere. They had baseball caps. They had shirts.
I feel like at one point during every time we have a podcast, it becomes a nostalgia hour. We talk about like, remember this?
Fucking old.
Remember this?
That's why.
Remember this? I know.
Back in my day, a fucking dozen eggs was $2. Meanwhile, that was like 10 Thursdays ago.
Reading Japanese. I feel like I vaguely, but I don't remember this being on like a lot of I don't remember it being a popular T-shirt, to be honest. So
Go fuck yourself. I don't know if I remember that. Maybe
I remember that.
I
I probably
blocked it
remember
out.
primarily because of my cousin wearing that on a shirt. But I remember seeing that shirt all over the place for a little while there.
That is funny.
And it's funny. I look at it now; it's so apparent. But when it first came out, it wasn't that apparent. Like I don't know what.
it looks
None
so
of those
obvious.
none of those are Japanese letters, right? At all.
No.
No, none of them are. None of them.
Well,
I'll just say maybe one or two.
The O is a Japanese character for sure, but it's pronounced Ro. That's the only one.
Grow fuck yourself.
Actually, actually,
the Y is the letter. The Y is the letter, right?
Yeah, actually, some of these are. No, actually, some of these kind of look like Japanese characters. Like the Y is a letter. The O, the U is not a letter. It could be a kanji. The R definitely not. The S no. The E, the O, the L is definitely yeah. Some of these are Japanese characters. They
I'm about
could
to
be
say,
Japanese.
Some of them are, but some of them are obviously not.
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are not. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Wow. Okay. All right. So, Dave, you have a topic here. I'm gonna let you set it up while I grab a beer.
Set it up while you grab a beer.
Because I'm gonna need another one for this one.
All right.
I'll let you set it up.
Once again, blatantly ripping off of what I find on the internet. So none of these topics are original thought of my own. But
Did you get this on Reddit?
I got it off of Reddit. So, what is a sex act that you did but you now regret, or you regretted it at the time, or you regretted that you even did it in the first place? So I'll lead off.
Right.
I'll lead off. I made the mistake of myself and my partner falling asleep while I was in her mouth. So we both fall asleep with it still in there, and then she decides to have a dream, and in said dream, which I learned after the fact, was she was fighting an alien, and one of her methods of attack was to bite, which immediately woke me up. I woke up with like, oh fuck. I'm laying down, so my hand just go there instantly, defense mechanism.
I
Right?
have so many questions.
Pitch black, so I'm not seeing anything. But
First question. So was this a 69 sleep or like a she's
How about-
like half the like the position that you guys
Was she
slept in? I
asleep
have to
when
know.
you put it in? Like I'm so
So
confused.
No.
the position
I know
is
this. I know this fantasy definitely like
like that.
yeah like wait like a
But
Like
not
an L,
like
like
a
an L,
sleep.
like an L,
like an L. Ah.
Was
But
this
see,
on
then is she
purpose?
like, yeah, of course it's on purpose. It's the thing like you never had the thing where like you're like, okay, we want to finish and then I want to sleep inside you.
Yeah.
Like you just don't.
Yeah, but
So
not
it's like
her
that kind of
mouth.
thing.
Like people grind their teeth at night. Like
So you
that's-
know why I know about this is because
Well, it
back in the
wasn't
day in
intended
Howard,
to fall asleep. We weren't supposed to fall
Ah.
asleep.
Okay.
I
that
thought it
way.
was. That's the fantasy, is the fall asleep thing, like a pacifier.
I mean, I wasn't like against falling asleep, but that wasn't the intent. The intent is called cock warming, and it's like, all right, finish, but I'm gonna keep you warm, and then through motions of the cock warming, you get hard again, right? So it's like an
Okay.
in between
All right.
type thing.
So you guys have the T position, right?
Yep.
So is she like? Are you guys both over the covers? Or is she like completely covered under the covers now?
No,
like a fucking tent.
we're both on top of the covers.
Oh, and you fell asleep like that? That sounds horrible. That's not comfortable.
Well, hold on. Here's why we're on top of the covers. Because
Okay.
imagine the acts before we fell asleep. So we're very sweaty, hot.
Yeah, I get that.
So
but-
eventually we would have gone under the cover. But anyway, let me finish the story, right?
Mhm.
So
She
the
bit your
the chomp happens. I immediately defense mechanism. Inadvertently,
dick. What was your
while I'm
defense
going there
mechanism?
to cover to save myself, I
Oh,
poke her
no.
in the eye. It's not like I aim to poke her in the eye, but I poke her in the eye,
Oh
which-
my god.
which wakes her up.
Wow.
Now here is where we actually laugh about this, right? Because she was like, yeah, you poked,
She's not blind in one eye, but it's funny.
yeah. Where she laughs about it now. She was like, yeah, you poked me in the eye, and I was like, ah, and then a cock fell out my mouth.
God. Oh man.
So,
Wait, were you like legit like a poke or like you went to like smack her or punch
well,
her?
like I said,
Ah,
like
that
all I
figure
did
is
was
lame.
this. All I did was this.
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't even know I poked her in the eye till like after the fact.
Okay.
She told me after.
It was
She's
just,
like, yeah,
it was just like an immediate
Yeah.
response with your hand.
Reflex.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
Oh
so then,
my god, that's amazing.
So then I'm just laying there holding it. She's awake, but she's not saying anything because she's like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. Like she like said sorry, but she was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. So I'm there just like not saying that, just
Was
holding
there
it.
blood? Was there blood?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So like I'm there
no.
holding it. I'm like, oh, and I was like, oh, it's very wet down there.
It's still there?
I don't know if I'm bleeding. I don't know if this is blood. So then like I eventually get out of bed to go to the bathroom. It was not blood. It was just wet because
Saliva.
it was saliva.
Oh,
I start peeing. I pissed out a little bit of blood or whatever. But ultimately,
you pissed out blood?
I pissed out blood. It was that hard of a chomp. I pissed out blood.
Wow.
Were there bite marks on your dick?
How are there not?
So
Were there
I didn't
teeth
have
marks?
I didn't have my glasses on or whatever. So I'm looking down there to see if there's like broken skin or anything like that. But I couldn't. I have really bad eyesight without my glasses, so I couldn't tell if there's any skin. It wasn't.
Get your fucking glasses in check. What are you doing?
And eventually she comes in the bathroom, she checks it out for me and everything like that, like making sure like no broken skin or anything like that. And I mean eventually like and yeah, Everything's fine, anatomically correct. No long-term damage. Her eye is also fine. She's not blind.
Okay.
But
Only lost 10% of
she,
vision.
she said I poked her really good in the eye.
Imagine explaining that visit to the optometrist.
I'm sure. I guarantee you they fucking heard it before.
Well, we were discussing for a little while there, like maybe we should go to the
hospital?
Yeah, the hospital. And I was like, what are we gonna say?
Ain't nothing they haven't heard before. Let me tell you, nothing they haven't heard before. Oh my god! And your coworkers listening to this stream.
He already knows. I told him that story.
How dare you? How dare you not save it for the podcast?
he was dying when he heard this story.
Bro, oh my god, that was hilarious. That was fucking hilarious. I'm trying to think, and I'm like, a sex act that I regret. I don't know that I have one.
I can think of one. I mean,
there's definitely people where I'm like,
it's not
probably
to a
shouldn't have fucked
point-
that person, but that wasn't an act.
No, for me, it's like there was something that happened, and I wouldn't say it's something that I wouldn't do again. It's just it happened to me for the first time.
Lewis got
and-
rimmed.
No, well,
You
close.
should try that though. It's pretty good.
He got pegged.
So
I don't want to say that. I wanted to go rim. I wanted to go a little more basic,
no,
David. A
no,
little
but it
subtlety,
did have
a little
it did
subtlety,
have to do with
please.
ass play. It just wasn't my ass. So I was with an ex, and we were experimenting with toys, and what happened was it was us.
What
Long
happened
story
was,
short, we having for the first time was my first time trying this too, but we had
toy
sex
DP.
with a butt plug in at the same time we were having sex.
Oh my god, yeah.
And she left it in and then got on top. And then when she did that, it just while it was still in there, she was getting back on top, and then I stuck it in. I don't know if it was just a voluntary response or an involuntary response, just because of she felt full.
Mhm.
But I don't know if she just like
Oh,
pushed.
no.
She pushed really hard, and the fucking thing came out, and then
It stunk, right?
the fucking smell. I was like,
Mhm.
what the fuck?
Let me
So,
tell you.
I just immediately I'm like,
Ugh.
wait a minute, something's up here, and like I saw the
Something's
look.
out.
I saw a look in her face. It was like it was over at that point, and I turned the light.
It's not
on.
over. Are you a trooper or you're not a trooper? You say this shit happens. Clean it up. Let's keep going.
There was
You
shit,
you
there
cannot
was
say
shit all over the bed. It was all
That's
over
a-
me.
that's an after sex problem.
I was like-
it
I
was
was like-
all over me.
I was like, all right, I got to
First of
shower.
all-
We got to do laundry.
First of all, what do you guys like? Literally have a giant meal and then decide you're gonna do butt stuff? Like a little forethought.
I
A little
just-
forethought.
I know that. I mean, look, would I do it again? Yeah. I mean, but it was just my first time doing it as like a DP, and that
Gotcha.
happened, and it was just excessive. Like look, I've done it before. and
How
it's like,
How much was there?
it was enough where like I wouldn't say I was.
Was it a
covered.
full log?
No, it was like fucking. It was like
Specs.
yeah, but it was just.
But that's
chunks of it.
normal.
It was chunks on me. It was chunks on the sheets.
Listen,
It, wa-
you're
it was
playing in the
more than
sewer.
usual. Like if you ever done anal, like and you pull out like
Yeah,
sometimes you
it's
get a
my
little bit
favorite.
here and there. It was more than a little bit. It was enough to just the smell just instantly right in the air, and it's like, oh fuck. Yeah, so that was it for me.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. That happens.
Yeah,
Look,
it happens. And look,
when
we
you- when
laughed
you
about
when
it.
you're
and
doing
it's
butt
like,
stuff,
and
shit's
it
gonna
happens.
come out. Literally.
legit, yeah, 100%.
You know?
Shit happens.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. And you know what? Who gives a shit? I'm not. Who gives a shit? I'm not trying to
I
make
see,
punches.
I see what you did there.
I wasn't even trying. Wasn't even trying.
Pun intended.
I know some people are like, "Oh, that shit's so gross," and I'm like,
Mm.
like, bro, it's just who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? I keep saying shit because that's my favorite word, but like, it doesn't matter, you know.
Is that a
Just
balloon?
keep
What was
keep
that?
going. The balloon nut.
Those Japanese lanterns.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
blurry. It's blurry. Wait, there's another one. There's a yellow one.
Yeah.
Jordan.
There's
Look
two
at that.
Japanese. Yeah.
Hey.
We going to Japan this year, boys? Lewis,
I'm
you want
not
to go?
gonna be able to afford it. I can tell you that much right now.
I have a
Unbelievable.
cruise to pay for. Still paying for.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Still
cruise-
paying monthly on this fucking thing.
You sucker.
The cru-
Fuck, it's a car payment. I'm
Why
like,
does
I'm
my
just,
camera keep on
I'm
doing
paying
that?
for a second car at this point.
I don't notice what your camera's doing, by the way, Dave.
It was blurring out. Now it's dark
Yeah, it's
behind
going
you.
like
Turn the light off.
Oh,
going
man.
in and out of focus. Well, yeah, because you didn't see that beam of light going
not-
across me.
It's not focusing on you though. Maybe like lean in and then back out. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. When I put my thumb over it, it would, like refocus. Whatever.
Miguel, anything? You were
I
thinking?
really can't think of a thing I've like an act I've regretted.
Or
Like, of course, there's been bad
Yeah,
bad
Well, not like-
experiences.
not like
similar
bad,
to
yeah.
Lewis's. I've had experiences like that, but I don't give a shit. I'm disgusting. So to me, it's like I'm a filthy, fucking disgusting person. So
man.
there we go.
when
Now I'm
but
focused.
I'll be like, sometimes you'll be doing that, and then there's like, oh, I hope nothing came out, and I'm like, nothing came out, but don't look back here. I have said,
Pay no
that, like,
attention to the man behind the
I
curtain.
will. I've said like, do not turn around. Just stay where you are. Do not look back here. Do not concern yourself with whatever's going on. I will take care of it. Everything was perfect. Do not even worry. That's like do not. You don't want. Listen, I am not here to guilt anybody. If you had a big lunch, no problem. It happens. It's not a big deal. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I don't know these guys. Like, I always read these stories. I'm like, is this real? Are these real people? Where they're like, oh my god, you're disgusting. I'm like, you had anal sex and you're getting mad at their shit on your dick. Like, what are you getting mad at? That's just something that fucking happens sometimes.
No,
Like,
I mean, for
Jesus.
me, it wasn't. It
No,
wasn't
you
mad.
actually. No,
But
of
you,
course
you
not.
had to
Yeah.
stop. If like you don't
Sometimes,
stop, you're
yeah.
smearing
Sometimes
it
it's,
and
like, too
everything.
much.
Yeah, like it's just that was an instant
I
stop.
gotta-
Unfortunately,
Gotta put a towel. Always put a towel down. Always put a towel down. Rookie mistake, Lewis. Rookie mistake.
Well, that's when you're getting down like you're a sniper, like getting the HDR in fucking Verdansk. That's when you got to put a towel down. You're just like crawling
yeah.
up the bed.
But I don't think I've ever. I can't remember an experience where I'm like, I will never do that again. I don't think I've had one. No, just people that I was like,
Well, wait,
that was a mistake.
we didn't get an answer from Dave. Would you do it again?
I would allow the cock warming again, but not when we're fucking tired. Like I'll cock warm in her mouth midday, but
See-
not at fucking night where we're both exhausted.
So only between lunchtime and dinner.
I heard his story, and I still would like to have the sleep thing.
Mhm.
I don't care about the potential. I'll take the risk. Get my dick getting bit off.
Bro, it fucking hurt. It fucking hurt.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
It was
wouldn't risk that.
bro. Like it was a full on fucking chomp.
That's
It
what I
wasn't
mean,
like a
people,
nibble.
Like grind their teeth.
It
and
was
stuff.
like,
She Pac-Maned it. She Pac-Maned
Yeah,
it.
she Pac-Maned it, bro. That shit fucking hurt. I couldn't move for a while after that.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, no, I don't have any like, yeah, just I will, well, because like one of my examples, my worst, like the most painful sexual experience I ever had was, I think guys have definitely had this, where the girl's on top riding, goes up, it comes out, sort of misses, and it's like
yeah.
kind of like, oh,
It bends. Yeah.
it bends, and
The fractured dick.
Mhm.
yeah, the fractured dick. And I will say, to this day, I'm always like, since that one girl did that, I swear to God, my dick has never been as big. I swear she ruined my dick for life. I swear, I'm like, you know
It
what?
just cut in half.
You damaged my dick. It has never, like, I remember when I was younger, I was like, it's pretty good size. Now I'm like, man, it used to be bigger. Like, what happened? And I swear, I remember, I think back. That bitch broke my dick, and it was never recovered. Never fully recovered. I know it is when you're dumb and young and you're like, I still want to come. And I remember like it hurt so bad I almost
Wait, you
cried.
kept going?
Okay, so it hurt so bad I almost cried, and I said, I said, get off me. We can't. This position is done. But then I'm like, we can still keep trying to have sex though. And I'm like, I'm like trying to like keep having sex, and like every thrust is painful.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I have to finish, you know.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it. You can't start it out.
I mean, I already started, you know. But no, it was just too like. Yeah, that's the only one. That's the biggest regret in my life. Where I still, to this day, I think that bitch did permanent damage to my dick. Not bitch. I don't mean to be disrespectful. She was a nice girl. You know.
She was a nice girl.
Not
Yeah,
your
it was
dick.
not her fault. Not her fault. Not her fault. Shit happens. Shit happens. You know.
Do you still talk to her? Does she know that the permanent
Oh
damage?
no, this is like. Oh my god, this has got to be 25 years ago at least.
Mm.
Yeah, like 20. It's got to be.
You can probably find her on Facebook. It's like, hey, do you know that you ruined me for life?
You made it smaller.
That was a one night
smaller.
stand. It was a one time thing. So no,
You could do what Elon Musk did. Just get the implant. You're fine.
Yeah, apparently can't even fuck now.
Oh man.
Oh, that was so
Oh.
painful. Yeah, to this
Oh.
day I'll never forget it. And that was literally 25 years ago, and I still to this day I'm like, that bitch ruined my dick. I don't say that bitch, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
He still says bitch.
I don't mean to say it that way because it's not, you know, just like that
You
woman.
probably said that out loud when it happened.
No.
No?
No, I probably just cried. No. I was like, "Ooh, motherfucker!" Like, holy shit, that was so painful. I'll never forget it. It was. I'll never forget it. Never forget it.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh my god, horrible.
See, now that was a
Horrible.
good fucking topic. All right, move on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Moving
Then we'll
on
have to
from,
add a topic for next week, just in general, bad sexual experiences. Yeah, any starfish queens?
No.
Anyway,
In chat. Starfish Queens in chat, just put W.
W.
it's hard to
W
move
to
off
chat.
a topic. It's hard to move off a topic like that now. Let's switch to what? When I switch to public executions in South Carolina, it's a little,
Yeah,
little
yes.
tough transition.
That sounds a good. That's a good transition.
Measles. How about talk about measles now?
There's a measles one?
It's a
Yeah,
measles
we got
outbreak in
measles.
Texas.
Oh, outbreak in
Actually,
Texas.
this will be a perfect lead in to Ed, but of course Ed, the
He's not here.
fake project manager.
Ed fucking abandoned us.
Oh, Dave, you had a long day. Did it just involve your boiler talk? Is that it?
Well, the boiler freaking added on top of it. So yeah, the boiler talk did make a long day. But I didn't even realize that till like several hours. Like I got home, it was cold, so I went to I turned up the heat. Then I jumped up on my computer. Which also the computer is a long day part, right? So I'm trying to fake and play around with it. I'm like, I'm already having a bad day, so like I'll go home, I'll just turn off my brain, I'll just play Marvels for a little bit, get myself distracted to kind of reset the day. And then my computer's giving me a hard time, fucking keeps on crashing. Not just the game, the whole computer keeps on crashing. Or whatever. So I'm having issues with that. It started off rough though, because me and my very soon to be ex had a conversation that didn't go well. So I was,
Let's dig into that one. Let's take a sidetrack detour.
okay.
I knew he was gonna do that.
Dig into the conversation. So
If you can, of course, if you can.
I mean,
You know me. I'm nosy as fuck. I'm
I know.
a fucking Snoop.
Let me
You know,
let me go do it.
I'm a creep. I'm a
Get
creep.
some popcorn. I'll be back.
I'm a creep.
Get-
Oh,
get me-
I
get me
just
some
bought popcorn. I bought this fucking great popcorn from Costco. Nice little salty caramel popcorn. Oof, banging. Oh, I want to get it. No,
Sidetracked.
anyway. Anyway,
So,
the reason I never got married. Please tell me.
and the reason I never got married. So anyway, I've been trying to talk with her about child support and equity of the house and everything like that, and try to get to a compromise where we're both comfortable. Because
Mhm.
there's numbers being thrown out there that's like you must think I'm a fucking millionaire. So she asked me, and understandably, she had a death in the family. and like that. So she wanted like delay the talks or whatever. So I put everything on hold and everything like that.
Was that your
So
message to her? Like, keep trying to ask for more money. Could be another death in the family.
God damn.
so we're supposed to have the conversation on Saturday. I'm picking up. So as you guys know, that's why we're doing this today, and not yesterday. I worked Thursday and Friday last week. So my weekend, my last weekend was extended, so I could work the extra days. But now this weekend is shorter, so I only have Chloe today,
Mhm.
and a little bit tomorrow. She's gonna get picked up in the
Do
morning.
not say the name, but okay. Just
So
FYI.
You said it
so I go
before
to get my
once.
daughter
Mhm.
to go pick her up. So uh, we agreed to start meeting halfway again, but I went all the way down there so that me and her could have this talk.
Okay.
Right? Um, we get there,
And it's
but
about a 2 hour drive or
an hour and a half.
hour and a half. Okay.
Yep. So
One way.
one way, 3 hour round trip.
Yep.
So go down there, and my ex also said, "Well, I also have some things to get on my chest. I want to talk. You just listen, type deal, whatever." So I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." I was like, but I made clear before I went down. I was like, we also have to talk about business, talking about the child support and everything like that. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we'll
Did you
absolutely talk."
record this conversation?
No, I didn't record either one.
Rookie mistake. All right. Anyway.
So then I go down there. She has her conversation with me, and basically the whole conversation. And ultimately, I don't give a shit. But
Mhm.
she's letting me know that like throughout the entire marriage, I mentally abused her and
Oh my
made her
God.
not feel like a woman and all this other stuff. And I was like, I don't care.
What?
I didn't say that. I just let her talk over it because that's what she asked me. She wanted to like I talk, you listen. I'm like, okay. Even this absurd shit that she said, I just cut my mouth quiet because all I wanted to care about, I didn't care anything that she was saying. I just wanted to talk about the um the child support. So
Mhm.
then she finished having what she's about to say, and then she wanted to go get our daughter. So and I was like, hold up, we were supposed to talk about this. And she kind of said she was like, oh well, I'm not gonna change my
My
mindset
mind.
on the child support thing. Like there, I'll give you some X amount of money back for this thing or whatever. But ultimately, I'm like, well, that's a crippling amount. I'm not gonna go over the exact financials of it, but I'm
Yeah, of
like,
course.
it's a crippling amount. Like you like it's an insane amount. Like I can't do it or whatever. But she didn't want to talk about it, so I was annoyed. I was like, the whole point of me coming down here was for us to meet a middle ground, go over the finances, and figure out something that's gonna work. But like you just wanted to vent to me and all that stuff, just basically wasting my time. So I was annoyed. So then I told her because tomorrow I was supposed to go drive down there to the halfway mark to drop my daughter off. So after I left, I texted her like, "No, you're coming all the way the fuck up tomorrow. I drove all the way down today. You're coming all the way the fuck up tomorrow." So she's coming tomorrow or whatever. So that had me pissed off for a long day. Then then the computer, and then while I'm on the computer, I'm like, it's freaking cold. And I go check my phone to see like is the temperature at least going up. The temperature's not going up at all. I was like, fucking what the hell?
Mm-mm.
So I go downstairs. I notice I went to go flush it because that's the first thing I
Mhm.
want to do. Like, oh, let me go flush it. Maybe that'll speed up the process. And that's when I noticed the little glass thing was like empty. So I was like, oh shit, I haven't flushed it for a while, and the water must have freaking dried up. So I did all that, and then I'm like, all right, cool. It should start working. Go back upstairs, start trying to fix the computer again. And I was like, another hour passed. And I like look at the temperature and like freaking not moving still. So I went down there, took the cover off. I was like, maybe I have to relight the pilot. Maybe the pilot went out somehow. The pilot's going strong, so I'm like, that's the extent of my knowledge. So now I'm annoyed because now I got to either do research and figure out how to fix it myself, or potentially call somebody to freaking come and fix it, which would be freaking even more money coming out of my wallet.
All right. Follow-up questions.
Yep.
Lewis is already like, fuck. I see Lewis's face.
I was expecting it, but yeah.
Can I go back to the good part?
The good part, the,
The
the,
good part?
the X part, the X. Go ahead.
I'm curious. I know you don't care, but I'm curious what she was saying. Like, you didn't make me feel like a woman. What did she say? What was it? What was the thing you said?
That I did. She was saying that she felt that I didn't make her feel deserving to be my wife. Where like she would look in the mirror and say like, is it my looks? Is it like, am I not pretty or whatever? And she also said like I kind of like just dismissed her health issues and all that. And ultimately, she just felt like that I did not treat her like a wife, not treat her like a woman. She didn't feel appreciated or anything like that. Like I said, I didn't say anything. And granted, at this
But let me,
point,
all right, but let me ask you, like, when she was talking to you, did you at any point be like, she maybe has a point there. She doesn't have a point here. I don't know if I see it. That's it. Like, what was your, like, I know you're like trying to just, you wanted to get to the point you wanted to talk about, but like, when she was saying her things, did any of it kind of be like, she has a point? I disagree. Like,
she has a point, but this is something that she's always done throughout her entire marriage. She has a point from a certain timeline. I was married
Right.
over 10 years,
yeah,
right? Everything that she was saying, I started doing over a culmination of 10 years. She's completely dismissing
the lead up, the build
the
up.
lead up. Basically, the very early on in their marriage. Basically, Jersey. Well, I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
location or whatever, but
Well,
where
Jersey, Pennsylvania doesn't matter. That's vague.
our
Doesn't
time,
matter.
like our first apartments and everything like that, where I was bending over backwards, doing all these things, all that stuff, and like just to no avail. And then like, even moving, and all like all the things he was claiming I didn't do or not appreciating. I did all that to exhaustion, and that's the point. She forgets all that, and now she only focusing on the part that I was already exhausted.
When she was bringing up that stuff, did you counter with like the historical stuff, or you just sort of like, I'm done. I don't even want to bring it up, or
No, and I could have. I mean, I'm
but you
not a
didn't. But
freaking
you did.
dog for. I didn't. But I didn't because of reason because this is a song and dance that we've done over and over again.
So
So
you guys
really,
have
all
had this argument many times.
right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, she went a little bit more like the mental abuse or whatever, and everything like that. That's the first time like her saying stuff like that. But it's like
She's
ultimately
in
the
therapy
message
now.
probably.
yeah. Well,
I'm about to say
listen.
she's
Nothing wrong
never
with
brought up the
therapy.
mental abuse stuff
Nothing.
before. This is the first time she said that.
It
I would
was the
be.
first time
I
her
wonder if
she used
she
the
was.
term
I
mental
wonder if
abuse.
she was recording. I'd be careful.
I
That's
don't
weird. It's a
think so.
weird thing to. Well, whatever.
Well,
Listen,
she was
we've
recording.
all
She
been
only
mentally abused. We all grew
if
up.
if
My
she was
parents were
recording,
horrible.
if she was recording, she only heard herself talk. Because like I said, I stay quiet.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So wait, did you like acknowledge him? Like, I'm sorry you feel that way, or you just said
Nope,
okay?
nope.
Okay.
I mean, while she's talking, I was just nodding my head, acknowledging that I'm listening,
Yeah.
which I was listening, but I didn't say anything. Once again, by her request, but didn't say anything.
I mean, it's water under the bridge at this point. I mean,
Yep. And once again,
Well,
that's why I'm saying like
she
I
can
don't
vent
care.
all she wants, but it's like, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah. I don't know if she's just realizing now how she feels, or but it's like you guys have been
She's
going through
talking to
divorce now for
someone,
like
whether
a
yeah, so
year.
she's either
No,
talking
but
to
it's not even about.
friends or
It's not even
family or
about.
therapy.
I don't know. Again, we only hear Dave's point of view, and I'm not going to question Dave's point of view. I feel like when I talk to Dave, he seems very emotionally aware, very has a lot of emotional intelligence. So I'm more inclined to believe in, also because he's my friend. So of course I'm biased.
Mhm.
So I'm like, but again, we're gonna put all the cards on the table. I never understood your relationship with her. I was always like, they don't seem very compatible, like interest wise. I always think about interests, right? Like common interests, shared stuff. And I'm always like, they don't seem to have a lot of shared interests. So I was always like, okay, well, maybe I don't see the whole relationship, but I was always a little confused. I was like, I don't understand their match. That was only my my thing. I remember.
So I was talking to my mother the other day because she was like talking to her about the drama and all the stuff I'm going through, and she was saying how she. Oh yeah, Byron said, "Nah, no bias is there." Um,
Hey, I acknowledge my bias.
yeah.
Obviously, I don't have any like personal relationship with her. I only know her through you. Met her probably like 3 times, but just from like talking, like never seemed like you guys had a lot of shared interests.
Right. So, like I said, I was talking to my mother
Yeah.
before, and I told her because she was saying she feels bad, like she was like you've done a lot, you've made a lot of progress through your life and everything like that, and now it feels like you're losing everything. I told her I was like, it sucks, it's a shitty feeling and everything like that, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm good with it, like because the reality is like we should have never got married. Um, didn't have anything in common, all that stuff. I the way I tell people is that I was pressured into getting married because of her having the good girl image. Innocent, not outgoing, not drinking
Mm,
no drugs and everything like that. Like good wife, she'll cook for you, all the stuff. Like she was like, oh, that's a good girl for you. But nobody considered, oh well, what do you guys have in common? What common interests do you guys have? Like David, everybody knows me growing. Like David's a very outgoing, like to go out and not alcoholic, but go out to the bars, have drinks, have a good laugh,
yeah.
have a good time, right?
So who was the one who was your family members pushing you, if I can ask?
So I don't know if you guys know this. Oh, you know, yeah, Miguel should at the very least know this. I don't know about Lewis. So her and I were originally introduced through my father's wife. Um, her mother was going out with my father's wife's uncle. So
I, don't,
they knew.
I know this.
I didn't know
No,
this.
no, you didn't know that part. So
Oh, I was like, what?
we started dating or
Mhm.
whatever, but then we broke up. Surprise, surprise, because we didn't have a lot of interest.
Yeah, I remember you guys
Like
were like,
I
yeah,
I wanted to go out more. I ended up finding the Chihuahua girlfriend that Miguel knows from the first
fantasy.
fantasy
The
fantasy
fantasy football
football.
winner.
Yep,
Mm.
yeah, I fucking won, motherfucker.
Ah.
um,
He lets you believe that.
um, I ended up leaving her to go towards the other girl, which was a lot more outgoing.
Yeah.
So we ended up
Mhm.
breaking up, right? I started feeling. I kept on hearing like, oh well, nobody ever said like you should get back with Sarah, but it was like, oh, Sarah was such a good girl or whatever. When I started going through
Who was
drama,
saying that, by the way?
like my mother,
Oh,
my
okay. So your
father's,
family. All right.
Mothers
my
don't know
family,
of any better, though. They don't know.
right?
Whenever my
So
mom likes any of my girlfriends, I'm like, this is a bad sign.
yeah,
Like,
even
I got to break up with her immediately.
where I was
bro,
working,
my mom has a worse taste. Oh my god, it's horrible. But
where I was working at the time, like I had coworkers that were really close or whatever, and they knew it. They were like, oh yeah, she was like, I kept on hearing like she was such a good girl. She was such a good girl. So I allowed that to freaking brainwash. Like, you know what? She was a freaking good girl. Like, I won't have any drama with her or whatever. It'll be a safe option. I mean, and I don't blame anybody else. I blame myself, right? It
yeah,
just should
Mm.
just not done it.
Well, you know what they say, right? Good girls go to heaven, bad girls go everywhere. So
No, nobody fucking
I
said that,
don't
Lewis.
want.
Shut up.
I'm just saying, like some people like that good innocent thing, and like I'm not really looking for the like. I want somebody who's gonna go make bad decisions with me, not you know, you know. I want to go out to the
you want
bar
to
with. I
voice
want
a
to go out to the
reason?
bar with my girlfriend. I want to go like to do fun things with whoever I'm with. I'm not trying to have. I don't care. Like I can cook. If she can cook, great. But I don't. That's it's shared interest is so important. Do you guys
Right.
like doing things together? If you don't like doing anything together, what the fuck is a relationship? It doesn't mean anything. You have to have shared interests. Oh, you're right, Dave.
100%.
He-
100%. You guys have.
I'm about to
Sorry.
say he doesn't want to answer that.
Wait, I'm sorry. Ask the question again.
I don't remember what the question was.
Shared interest. Shared
So,
interest.
What? Yeah. Share. Were there any
so you
shared?
guys, do you have any shared interests?
We had no shared interest.
So what did you
No
guys
shared
actually do
interest.
together?
Yeah. What did you guys like when you guys hung out? What did you guys do?
I mean,
What did you guys talk
we,
about?
once again, so like we would talk about some vague stuff or whatever, or like I mean that's hard for that. It's crazy 'cause- and like you're right. A lot of times we wouldn't have a conversation. Like I would talk about work a little bit or whatever. She would talk about when she did work, which was a very small percentage of of our relationship. She would talk about that, and basically, a lot of times she would just complain about her feeling, her health issues, all that different stuff.
Debbie Downer style.
Yeah, Debbie Downer stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry. I'm getting text messages that
Let's see,
seems
he's
that
ready.
seems
Are
pretty
they watching
important.
this live?
She
Are they
she's
watching this
watching
live?
this
No,
live.
no,
It's the
no, no,
first
no.
time out.
It's unrelated. It's unrelated to the live.
All right,
It's
good.
unrelated.
I was a little worried. I was worried for a second.
Yeah,
No,
the
no,
look on his face, I was just like, is she texting him right now? What's going
Mhm.
no,
on?
no, 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 not that. Yeah, we really didn't have a lot of conversations, but so, and that goes along with many things, right? Like she would say, like I'm unappreciative of her, but it's like there's plenty of times
What
I
did you
off.
say you were unappreciative? Like, what was she doing that she said you were unappreciative of?
She didn't give any specifics, but like more like I wasn't willing to do things with her, or whatever. But like it's total horseshit. Where it's like, cause like I'm like there are plenty times I've asked and almost even pleaded to a certain extent. It's like let's go on and do something. You're always saying that you want to. If I say I'm in
She's
the
in the
doghouse.
doghouse.
Um, she's always saying that it's like, oh well, you never take me out anywhere, or I just want to go on a date, husband and wife, and not like basically get a break from, which I also get, right? But it's
Yeah,
like
from the kids. Yeah.
every single time I will propose to her, like, hey, let's go out to this restaurant, let's go out and do this thing. Hey, this event is going on, let's go do that. And it's like, no, I'm not feeling well, or like, I can't do this week, I'm not feeling well, or I'm not in the mood. She just kept on saying no to freaking everything.
Did
And then
she
you
ever?
stopped
Did
asking,
she?
right?
Then it gets to a point where I stop asking.
Yeah.
Did she ever suggest things to do, or just was waiting for you to suggest the perfect thing?
No, and anytime she did suggest something, I would go along with it. Um,
So, like,
right?
what was her interest? That like, what was she into?
I've asked her a million times. Like for instance, one thing that she will watch on TV, it stopped, but early on in the marriage, she will watch it all the time on TV. She will watch the Food Network. I'm like, oh, well, and I would sit down with Robert because that was the
Like,
one thing I noticed that she was interested in. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
well, like, do you like? Let's go into the kitchen. Let's try one of these recipes. Didn't want to do that. I was like, well, then what the hell's the point of you watching all these freaking recipes? All these, you're not gonna fucking try any of this shit, right? Like,
I
but
did.
like
I did. I used to watch a lot of Food Network too that I didn't make it to, but I get it. I get it. Yeah.
that's like that conversation on the other podcast between Edric and Karen, where she wanted him for Valentine's Day to cook or do like a cooking class together as a couple, and he's like,
Yeah.
I ain't doing that shit.
I would
I'm
love
never
to
gonna
do it.
cook, even just once for me. No, I'm not.
You're
I'll,
not
I'll,
gonna
That's.
do it.
I mean,
I'll throw a
that's
Pop Tart
crazy.
in. I'm not cooking.
That's crazy. I would love to do a couples cooking class. That's like a fun act. I'll do any
I would do.
activity. I don't give a
I would
shit.
do that.
What painting wine or fucking gardening. I don't give a shit. I'll do any activity. I don't know. Some people are like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, why? It's anything
I
can
don't
be
want to.
fun.
I'm not cooking. It's like
But
just
yeah,
make rice.
she would say no to everything.
I don't
Which
like
is,
that.
which
No.
which
Oh, I
is
hate that.
why we went on the guys trip to DR. She was not a fan. I was like, well, guess what? We made a plans. I'm committed to the plans. We did it. Maybe you should freaking take a fucking clue here. I was like, I'm clearly willing and to plan. I'm able to plan and do things. I just need your commitment to it.
You bought a vacation on that trip for you. I remember you bought the timeshare.
Yeah. And she didn't want to. No, I didn't buy a timeshare. No, I didn't buy a timeshare.
No, you bought some kind of
vacation
package.
Yeah,
A vacation package
to
for
one
you
of
and
the
her.
for one of her
Yeah,
Hard
for the
Rocks.
Mexico.
I
Because I remember
forgot
you
about
said
that.
with her. Yes, and you never went on that.
Yeah, no, we never went on it.
But you bought it for her, right? For you and her.
Yeah, that was kind of my like make it up to her type thing, right? But she
Why didn't you
didn't.
guys go on it?
Well, when I talked to her and she feigned some interest in it, whatever. But over time, I realized that she wasn't really interested in going, or really not somebody that could really like travel like that because of her health issues. She can't eat anything. I'm like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna bring your freaking kitchen, your pots and pans, so you can make
What is
rice in a fucking
her?
hotel room.
What are her dietary restrictions?
So the only thing she eats is rice and chicken. That's all
So
she
it's
eats,
not.
and
So it's
and
not
barbecue
a
sauce.
health issue. It's just a She's one of
So
those.
she was diagnosed with
Cystic fibrosis?
no
or-
I'm listening, but I'm gonna be right
I'm
back.
trying to think.
Because
What the hell is it
chicken's
called?
protein, and that's I know fibrosis has that issue. There's
Basically, the muscles in her stomach's not working.
oh, it was a stomach issue.
Yes.
Oh,
What the fuck is it called? I've heard it multiple times since she was diagnosed with it.
It's a little concerning that you were
Gastro
married for 10 years and you don't know the name of the fucking disease.
gastroparesis.
gastroparesis.
Where basically her stomach muscles can't move the food, so then she gets really bad like stomach cramps,
Hmm.
and the only food she could tolerate is chicken and rice. At least, so here's the thing. That's what she convinced herself. No doctor told her like, well, you can only gave her the diet. You can only eat rice and chicken or whatever.
And he dropped. I think his internet just cut out.
Oh, damn. I was about to ask you a question, too.
You're back. What happened?
The web page just crashed. That was weird.
Oh,
Like the computer didn't crash, or just the web page crashed.
that is weird.
So, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, there's no way a disease you can only eat chicken and rice because
No, that's why I'm saying that's what she convinced
yeah,
herself
that's
of.
bullshit.
Did
That's
she-
bullshit.
Yeah, but wait, did she always have this issue, or was she like always a picky eater in the beginning?
She always had an issue where she would eat something and her stomach would get upset, where she would be in pain, have stomach pains all day. So it was a known issue.
Even when you
I wonder
first
if it's
met,
psychosomatic.
so it was always like this.
Yes.
Okay,
So, first of all,
I dated someone
I
who
would
was
have
like that.
I would have already ran away long ago because I'm fucking I love food. If anybody like we talked about this last week, if any girl tells me like I'm a little picky eater, the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. You're a picky eater?
I've dated a picky eater
Fuck
before. It's
off.
yeah.
No way. Impossible. No way I'll date a picky eater. Go date some other guy who likes to eat chicken nuggets every day. I'm not fucking dating you. That's
I
not my
remember like the
style.
one time we go into a restaurant, she'd be ordering from like the kids menu because it's like chicken tenders or something, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me, because she won't eat anything else. Like, and it's the same. It's not as bad as just chicken and rice, but it was just like this
I use
select.
the bathroom. I'll be back.
It's like this select. few-
I hear
out.
you guys have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it
no,
was
I
just-
can't.
Yeah, look. I mean, yeah. I don't want to say like gets old. It kind of gets old because you have to
It
be
gets old in
selective of
one
where you
day.
go.
No, I refuse. Deal breaker. Deal breaker. I'm out. I'm fucking out.
Yeah, it
You don't-
was kind of annoying sometimes though.
This is no, I can't. Like literally like
Like won't go to hibachi though, because there's nothing on the menu for hibachi that
it has
be okay.
everything. If you can't eat hibachi, that's insane. There's nothing raw. There's no raw stuff. It's just
No.
chicken, rice, beef, shrimp. Like, what are you talking about? You can eat hibachi. It's normal food.
Nothing
There's
on the
nothing-
menu was appetizing to them. It's like, okay.
No, that's just people who are like, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I can't eat that. It's weird. Fuck off. All right, that's fine. Listen, I'm not going to say I don't judge you because I absolutely judge you. But you can live your life. I'm not going to restrict you, but you are not dating me. I need somebody who's like, I've never seen this before in my life, but I heard it's good. Okay, I'll try it. I am, listen, I ate. That's why, like, I love, like, I've never run into a Japanese woman who's like, oh, I won't try that. I've never, like, that's why, like, the last few girls I dated Japanese, it's like, I'm eating fucking blowfish. I'm eating, cow tongue I ate growing up because I'm Spanish, so we had cow tongue. But, like, when I hear, like, oh, I don't want to try that, it's gross, like, no.
My favorite was like she wouldn't eat ketchup, mustard, or mayo, but would eat foods that would have byproducts in there. Like when you cook meatloaf, you put tomato sauce and mustard into the mix
And ketchup.
and ketchup, but would eat that, but wouldn't If there was a hamburger or cheeseburger, which by the way they wouldn't eat cheese, so it's a hamburger only, they wouldn't eat it with ketchup on it.
So they would eat a hamburger plain with a bun. How did they not choke to death from the dryness?
I learned really fast how difficult it was to order that at a McDonald's or Burger King drive-through menu. Like if you literally were order a hamburger plain, nothing on it, it was overwhelming how many times they fucked that up. There would
Because they're
be
probably like,
ketchup, or there'd be cheese, or there'd be pickles. Like there'd be something on it, and it wouldn't be plain.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I want to say there was a good failure rate. I want to say 20%. 1 to 2 out of 5 times they would fuck it up. It was pretty. Holy shit!
What
here
the hell
twice.
is happening?
We got double
What
vision.
happened?
I thought
Can
that
you-
was like Edric there for a second. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, is Edric joining us?
Can you kill his second feed?
It's probably got a timeout. Did you crash
Oh.
again?
Yeah, it's a web page. Web page keeps on crashing.
Oh.
So I closed all my other tabs.
Yeah, you're there. You're still here, but you're frozen.
Yeah. Oh, he's frozen again. Nope. No, he's not.
Oh,
All right. Here we
There
go.
we go. Yeah, just has to time
All
out.
right.
Well, I mean, we're 2.5 hours in anyway, so I think we're
Anyway, guys.
Wrapping
So, when are we going to go to Japan together? What if I get an apartment?
wait, are you like moving there?
No, like a 3-month apartment or something like that. Because that's my plan this year was to go for 3 months, get an apartment for 3 months, like a fully furnished one. So I don't
And
have to-
you went for like a month and a half, right?
I went for 6 weeks last time, but I was running around. I want to stay one spot and like just do little maybe day trips or like weekend trips. I'm like practice living there because I'm trying to flee the country. I'm trying to get out of this fucking place.
No, I didn't notice that. Are you?
Yeah.
I thought you loved America. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying
I can't.
no.
I can't get you
maybe
guys
not.
to get.
Maybe next year. Maybe not this year.
What about a guy's trip this year? Somewhere. Would you guys be down for a guy's trip? Oh, you guys, that fucking
I mean,
that goddamn cruise.
You should have fucking went on a cruise, Dick. The fuck?
I'm not paying that price for a fucking cruise. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was able to save $400 by changing my room.
By the way, Fredo dropped out,
Yeah.
but
Really?
was it non-refundable?
His deposit was not refundable.
Why did he drop out? I don't understand.
Money. They cut all his OT, so he hasn't had OTs for like months.
Fucking Biden, right?
What-
Leave it to Miguel to always make everything political.
tell him to come to Amazon. We still got OT.
There you go. He was chatting in Telegram before for the first time. Like I haven't seen him talking forever. He said one thing about the new album and then he poofed.
So we do actually have to plan another guy's trip. I don't know what's a good time for you guys.
I mean, New Orleans was fairly inexpensive. I mean, we do like a little quick trip like that again, wherever.
I would love
I'm
to
down
do
for
like
a
a
quick
Canada
trip.
trip.
I'd be down for that.
I'm down for a Canada trip.
I would love to do it. Like
Wait,
I
Canada?
went to like Montreal. I would love to do like a Montreal. I went to Montreal a long time ago, but
If they're
didn't-
gonna let us in at this point.
listen, I will fucking sing the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada.
So because we can go to Toronto, we can go to Montreal. Like Vancouver's obviously you got to fly. Vancouver's let's go.
Yeah.
I've
But
been-
like
I've been
I went to Montreal, but I went with like a mixed crew, and I did not get to experience the Montreal nightlife. I'm a more night person than a day person. So
I went to my only trip to Canada was Quebec.
I've only been there once, and it was Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls is New York.
No, Niagara
it's on
Falls,
both.
Canada.
It borders both. There's a Niagara Falls, Canada, and it's both. It's both.
No,
Anyway,
I know it's both, but did you go? So you specifically went to the Canada side? Oh, okay.
I went to the Canada side and I felt adventurous, so I ended up just like
You
using
jumped
the
down the
GPS.
falls.
No, like literally the river that the falls go into, I followed it all the way north until I hit was it Lake Ontario? I went all the way up to Lake Ontario and I was able to see Toronto from across. Like very like you it was a clear day and you could just barely make out the skyline of the city, but you could just barely see it. So I went all the way up there and Surprisingly, there was a fuck ton of wineries up through there too, and I ended up stopping by one. So
We could do.
I
We
wouldn't
could
mind
all
doing that
drive.
again.
We could drive up to Montreal. It's like an 8-hour drive. Do like a 4-day
6.
thing.
It took about 6
Yeah.
hours to get Niagara Falls.
It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys want, or we could do a drive to I don't know. I don't fucking know. How about Boston? Boston's close. I've never been to Boston. That's crazy, right? I've never really been to Boston.
I
have been to Boston. Actually,
were
the very
there.
first family trip that I took my family on
I drove
was to
through
Boston, and I remember, it was funny. I was wearing I think I was wearing a Giants cap, not this one, my red and blue one, and we were just walking around the city, and a bus came by, like a tourist bus, and they're like, oh, and loud as hell on the speakers, bus is driving by, he's like, and to the right you can see a Giants fan. And everybody on the bus, and then everybody in the street started like pointing and booing him, because that was roughly around the time the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, like 1 or 2 years
You're
after
wearing
that.
that in Boston, like,
Yeah.
Why don't we pick
I think wearing a Boston sweatshirt in Philadelphia.
Boston or Maine? I guess it's a Maine Lobsters. Pittsburgh. I would do Philly for like a weekend. We could do like a close little guys
I've been
weekend
to Pittsburgh.
thing.
Pittsburgh's nice.
I like.
I would do Pittsburgh.
I love
Like
Pittsburgh.
the way like Pittsburgh is, like you have that river that's like in the middle, and it's
Yeah.
like mountains on all sides. So you got to go to like each section across the rivers.
But I've been to Pittsburgh.
I've not.
I've been to
Pittsburgh.
Philly. You haven't been to Pittsburgh, Dave?
I've not been to Pittsburgh.
I've been there once.
I would do Pittsburgh again then if Dave wants to go. Montreal was great. Toronto, I have not really experienced Toronto. I would do Toronto if you guys want to drive to Toronto.
I would do a trip to Canada. I would do Pittsburgh. By the way, my one trip to Quebec was strictly a booty call.
That's pathetic. but
That's
okay.
a far booty call.
It was a far fucking booty call.
Holy shit!
And the
Guys
and
will, guys will
and the-
drive anywhere for a booty call.
and I took a bus. I didn't drive.
Even worse. Even worse.
Funny story about that. On the bus, we got to the border, and they had us all get off the bus, and then all of a sudden, I see this huge fucking guy, like border patrol, whatever, comes up to one of the passengers. You're like, you're coming with me now, and if you try to get away, I'll put you down. And like, I'm looking at the other guy, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was something he tried to immigrate into Canada. Either had a warrant or had drugs on him, whatever, and they busted him, and they're like, okay, this is over now. Everybody get back on the bus and get in the car. I was like, holy shit. I'm just part of a fucking bus at the border.
Caravan.
They're like, all right, this is like everybody else is good to get into the country. I was like, okay. I didn't even have a passport at the time, but I don't know if you still could, but you could get into Canada by just showing a birth certificate.
Need a passport now.
How about to say they
figured.
needed one, but it's like they don't even stamp it. They're like,
Yeah.
"See? Here, go ahead, keep going." At least it was when I went. That was back in 2013.
Don't bring any American liquor now.
It was. I went in 2013.
Actually, that might be a good idea. We might be able to sell it. Like, we can.
They're not gonna buy. They're not buying it because they don't want one. No, I would not.
Well, they took it off the shelves. I'm sure there's there's Canadians that are upset that they lost their favorite liquor.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I'll be honest. I could easily replace any liquor, and I wouldn't really care that much. I don't have like I have to drink this. I don't have that.
There are definitely people that have their freaking vice on certain liquors.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there might be some bourbon drinkers.
But all right, so if we plan something, you guys can't do it this year. If it's a local thing, I would rather go to Japan, but you guys have your fucking little stupid, expensive ass cruise.
Fucking cry some more about it. Holy shit! You know what?
But
I'm
He
gonna
loves
send.
cruises. That's what the problem is.
I'm gonna.
I'm
Send
not paying
Miguel-
that money to have my itinerary decided for me. Get the fuck.
I'm gonna send, because I bought the Wi-Fi package. I'm gonna send Miguel a dick pic every day on the fucking cruise.
Like right off the balcony too, with the nice blue Caribbean water down below, and like, wish you were here.
I'm gonna make him uncomfortable every pick. I'm just like yummy.
the fucked up parties, he's probably telling the truth. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were serving sushi.
Oh, looking good today. Did you fluff that one today? All right, a little warm up.
Like, look at that spring roll.
He was like,
I did not know you were uncircumcised. Okay.
You're like your tan is starting to show.
Oh fuck!
Listen, don't play gay chicken with me.
Speaking of which, his favorite game is Frogger. You go first.
Oh man.
Oh fuck!
Anyway, I think that's a good time to cut it off.
I think
I don't think Ed's gonna show up. So let's not
Ed's
wait.
not
Let's not waste
showing.
it.
He's
not showing up.
He's decompressing and all that fun stuff. So
All right.
we'll get the Ed story next week for our podcast on for what is for next Friday. What is that?
It
March
is the
14th.
14th, March 14th,
Day before tax day. Yes.
episode 8/10.
Oh, he made it! He
Holy
made
shit.
it
With a broken mic.
With a
With
muted mic.
broken mic.
Muted
With a
mic.
mic.
No mic.
Muted.
Time out. I just got back.
Time out. What happened to your hymns? That hairline's looking far back.
Wow!
Him's is now
Yeah.
hers.
Yeah, he fucking.
Oh,
He's carried away. He's
dude,
carried
you
away.
just fucking roasted him on it. He comes back from Aruba.
Motherfucker got jet lag and got roasted.
Holy shit. I can't believe you just said that.
I was making a joke because the angle was bad. It was like saying.
I mean, the light was kind of shining off of it. I mean, in your defense.
Oh, I can't breathe.
Oh, I'm fucking tearing. Oh.
Oh my god.
He didn't
Unbelievable.
have a working mic to defend himself or anything. That was great.
He was just talking shit to himself. He's like,
He's like,
No
"Hey,
sound.
I have
No
to
sound.
wait, time out.
There he is.
Microphone. Yay!
No, we still can't hear you.
microphone.
We still can't hear you.
Unbelievable.
Hello, is this thing on?
Our project manager.
Look at our producer. Look at this guy.
Oh my god.
Look at that Aruban tan.
No, nothing.
Can you blow in the mic harder for me?
Try licking it.
Dave's like, this is not the reason I got divorced. Check it out.
You put the G in Go XLR.
Look at Ed's over here doing sign language.
Are you miming? Like, what is happening?
I don't know what he's doing. Oh my god.
This fucking Go XLR. Look at this. It's just as bad as the Beacon. Look at this shit.
All right, let's meet in the after meeting. That's it for next
mic-
week.
His good mic is still in Aruba.
All right. Till next week.
All right.
Ed,
Peace out,
here.
everybody.
Here's mine.
Discord. I mean Discord. All right.
All right. We'll be back March 14th. So everybody have a good week. We will see you then.
Everyone.
See you.
Bye, everyone.
See you.